it's the East Coast rivalry renewed yet again as Baltimore travels up 5 hours to take on Utica City FC. Welcome inside the Adirondack Bank Center. I'm Arnaud Pocrell, joined by Nicholas Whaley. Nicholas, these two teams know each other all too well. They played last night, they play again today, but yesterday's match got a little bit testy and pretty physical.
It really did, and it was just what we expect from this kind of matchup. In Baltimore, it's a bit more of a compact game. It becomes a bit more intense. Guys are closer together, and that means it is more physical. And we saw that in bundles yesterday where, of course, Baltimore did get that red card.
Omar Silla picks up the red card, and that's a big loss for Baltimore because as a defender, he's done such a good job. Baltimore's got one of the top defensive units in the country, but then it's what he offers going forward, one of the best defensive passers that Baltimore has as well.
I mean, he's been incredible this season, 13 assists already, and he really has provided that outlet from his own half, you know, and that has really been huge for Baltimore, especially earlier on in the season. Not having him today is a huge opportunity for Utica because now Baltimore needs to find another offensive outlet.
Goalkeeping was the topic for Utica yesterday. Xavier Schneider-Williams got the start, gave up 10 goals in yesterday's matchup in 33 minutes of play. Brian Wilkins stepped in, did a great job.
I think he was fantastic, you know, and this is an area for Utica that certainly there are so many question marks at the moment. You know, the defensive just fragility overall just hasn't been great for Utica recently, and I think the fact that Wilkins stepped up and played so well and made a couple big saves, only conceded 1 goal, I think that's a huge thing to go forward and something to look out for today.
Well, 3 players had hat tricks yesterday, including Kevon Frater for Baltimore, including Jonatas Mello and Barbaro Shalier. We'll see if the offense continues today inside the Adirondack Bank Center. Kickoff on MASL TV coming up next.
At Aquavino, every meal is a moment. Whether it's date night, a quick lunch, or celebrating a special event, enjoy Italian-American favorites. Aquavino Restaurant, growing our family one plate at a time.
What's your story? What moments make life an adventure? Community is where memories happen. At Bank of Utica, enriching our community for current and future generations has been part of our mission since 1927. By supporting local, community-focused organizations, we work together to open doors to education, the arts, and meaningful career paths. Making stories to remember. Bank with Utica.
At Rome Health, we bring the best orthopedic and sports medicine care right to your neighborhood. Our experienced team includes orthopedic surgeons, sports medicine specialists, and physical therapists working together to get you back to the things that you love to do. So whether you need an injection for arthritis pain, rotator cuff surgery, a joint replacement, or help recovering from a concussion, we're committed to delivering superior care to you. Rome Health, the best orthopedic care out there, here.
What a save! What a save! What a save!
And now it's your turn to save here at Master Vito Hyundai on Commercial Drive in Yorkville or online anytime at mastervitohyundai.com. Make your move to Master Vito Hyundai.
Babe's Restaurant and Bar believes great food brings people together. From comfort classics to crowd favorites, there's something for everyone. Open daily for lunch and dinner, plus brunch on the weekends. Come home to Babe's.
Welcome back inside the Adirondack Bank Center, closer to kickoff between Baltimore and Utica City FC. The MASL is proud to welcome you to MASL Soccer. It's brought to you by Miter, the official game ball supplier of the Major Arena Soccer League. Established in 1817, Miter is one of the leading soccer brands worldwide and produces some of the best soccer balls in the world. Learn more at miter.com. Alongside Nicholas Whaley, I'm Arnaud Pocrell. And Nicholas, these two teams we talked about in the pregame do not like each other. Omar Silla, a red card yesterday. I'm sure we're expecting more physicality between these sides today.
Certainly, they're going to be fireworks today, you know. And what's interesting is for Utica, every single home game is a must-win at this point. And at this point in the season, they're still growing. They're still getting better every week. Baltimore, they're also a team that also feels like they're getting better and better every week. But without their top assister in MASL, it could be interesting.
We're underway at the Adirondack Bank Center, second game into between the Baltimore Blast and Utica City FC. These two teams met last night in a 12-7 Baltimore victory, but it was a 10-3 lead at one point in that game for Baltimore. Here's an early shot and just wide by the Baltimore netminder. It's a change in goal. George Navarrete heads to the net for Baltimore in place of Julian Rodriguez. That's one that we were a bit shocked to see when we heard about it. Rodriguez has been statistically one of the best goalkeepers in the MASL, but today the nod goes to Navarrete.
And he almost scored on the other backup goalkeeper in this game against Brian Wilkin, who came in the second half against Baltimore yesterday. Did better than I think many expected, and he got the nod today, but a little bit of a nervy moment, especially at the start. And you'd expect that as well, especially when you haven't had as much game time early on.
So Navarrete, he's a player who, last time I saw him play was a couple of years ago. He was playing MASL 2 for Atletico Orlando, and he was actually a hybrid. He could play in goal. He played up top as well. He played last year with the Harrisburg Heat as a backup netminder. Brian Wilkin returning to the net for Utica City FC. Last night was the first time he didn't start a game for UCFC this season. He started every game other than yesterday, where Xavier Snare-Williams got the nod and then was injured 3 minutes into the second half, and then Wilkin goes back in, 4 saves, 1 goal allowed. A second half that was much better from Utica City FC, and now today, bigger field of play. We always talk about that with these two teams as Wilkin shuffles 1 ball away. The rebound gathered again by Brian Wilkin, 6th year in the MASL, 5th with Utica City, spent a season in 2019-2020 with the Rochester Lancers.
And the biggest thing for Utica today is making sure what started yesterday doesn't happen today. Baltimore just came out of the blocks flying, and all of a sudden the game was almost out of sight. And Utica, while they were better in the second half, Baltimore just had the game under wraps at that point and were able to just be more comfortable. And Utica have to come out the stronger team to have a chance in this game right now.
Early shot in by Baltimore. Here's Chad Porch back in the lineups for the Blast. And what an addition he is. Good to have him back in the Blast side after missing a couple of games with injury. 8 goals, 3 assists on the year for Porch, who scored the $1 million goal in the summer of 2024 with La Bombonera at TST. Here's Navarrete again. You'll see this a lot out of Navarrete. He's so comfortable with the ball at his feet. Player who's played indoor as a forward a couple of seasons ago with Athletic Orlando before sticking back to the position we most know him for in George Navarrete at goal. Native of Plant City, Florida. Before tonight, just 1 appearance this season. He was filling in for Rodriguez for 3 minutes. Worked across. Here's Kelvin Mwape. Mwape will turn around, look for Patrick Thompson. Toy Tavares gets the better with his speed. And he'll turn the other way, find Amadi. Marshad Amadi, who's coming back from a hamstring injury he suffered in the away match at Baltimore on January 4th. Slowly working back into the lineups. Utica also bring back Gordy Gerson, who didn't play last night. Headed back to Alava at the top of the arc. Down to the corner again. Here's Tavares. Gerson's down in pain right at the top of the arc. Slowly gets back. He's grabbing his face.
Oh, and they're still going at it off the ball.
It seems like no love lost right now between these two sides. Exactly what we expected in today's matchup. Alves runs down the boards. Will play it across. It'll fall on the volley. It's wide. Navarrete may have got a piece of it, but either way, first real chance of the game goes to Utica.
And the first few minutes or so, Baltimore moved the ball so fluidly.
There's Teixeira with a shot. Pressure from Utica, and now a chance to break. And here is the speedy Alejandro Chavez. He was like a buzzsaw yesterday, active up and down the field. He used the boards really well. Very impressive performance from Chavez. 1 goal, 1 assist for him last night. I say last night, the game was at noon. Teams got in, well, Utica City got in at about 9 p.m. last night. So, it's not like a true back-to-back where you play late and then you come in early morning, you have to sleep on the bus. Utica able to, sleep in the beds and get a proper night of rest. in a back-to-back setting.
We're already seeing from both teams. The challenges are even coming a little later. They feel a bit more physical. It stems from the energy that we had yesterday down in Baltimore.
This one just high from Baltimore. No strangers, and a much improved set-piece team this season. Kyle Genrick goes running in. And now Chad Porch the other way. He's chopped down by a Utica leg. It is a whistle and a foul against Utica City FC. We'll talk about Genrick because we interviewed him. You'll hear that interview at halftime, and that's one of the questions I asked him immediately. When he steps on the field, he's 100 miles an hour. He does not slow down.
And especially in a game like this, you have to be quick. You have to be first to the ball. Any little mistake, because this is a Baltimore team that it feels like it's always one-touch, two-touch soccer. It makes it so difficult for the opponent to keep up with the play, and that's why Utica have to just be that maybe a little bit more patient, wait for that little mistake, and then counter quickly.
Baltimore team led yesterday 8-3 at halftime, led 10-3 at one point in the third quarter before allowing a couple of unanswered goals. Pass off the boards, intended to the far side, Nico Williams. He had a brace in the last meeting here on New Year's Eve. And now Howard Miller down the boards on the attacking side. Got double teamed by Porch and Juan Pereira. Navarrete, ever so confident with the ball at his feet. Good dummy by Porch, but he can't run on to the end of it. Alava. Stevens will slow things down. All season long, when we speak to head coach Everton Marreri, he says that this is a Utica team that thrives in transition. The young team with a lot of speed. He wants the team to sit back and counter. But now, early on in this one, we've seen Utica City hold on to possession, try and work the play from the defensive half.
And it's been difficult for them to even get out of their own half in this way. The only time we've really seen them look dangerous is on that counter attack.
Teixeira is pushed into the boards by Welly Bramus. And the native of Brazil will be called for a foul. Teixeira, more recent addition to this Utica City side, but since breaking into the lineup, he's been a mainstay. His first game he scored. It was an away match, that away victory for Utica against Baltimore in overtime. Launched ahead to Barbaro Chalier. He's someone that had a hat trick yesterday, one of 3 players in the game to have a hat trick. Chalier, Kevon Frater, and Jonatas Mello, all with 3 goals and 1 assist. And again, a Utica City side still without captain Logan Roberts and last year's MVP in Nilton De Andrade, as well as Kelvin Oliveira. Conversations around him still pending after his Kings League World Cup of Nations victory. Here's Gerson, averaging a goal a game in his 3 appearances. Navarrete a step behind. Baltimore break out well. Some speed from Maldini Goncalves. Formerly signed by Utica. There's a shout for a 6-man violation. It is given. Right on the byline, Baltimore runs onto the field, and with an extra player in the run of play, it is the extra man violation.
Yeah, I saw it right away. It looked like there was definitely at least a six man on for Baltimore. Lapse of concentration maybe, but the referee saw it straight away. And in that situation, it looked like Baltimore were really looking to build quickly. I think Utica just have to press higher. They have to press higher, especially when the ball is in the Baltimore half. That's where they can capitalize, force the mistake. And on a field which is slightly bigger than the one that they played on yesterday, the space is there, there's that little bit more space and maybe more of a chance to intercept.
Too many men, the violation for Baltimore leads to a power play for Utica City on the season. 1 for 7 on power plays. Gio Alves, the lone power play goal, came in that last Sunday matchup against San Diego. He hit a ball off the boards to himself. It was a crazy goal, landed on MASL Plays of the Week. Here's Chalier with the left foot. It's driven down, and Navarrete makes the save.
And it's a Utica City team that's statistically the worst power play team in the MASL at the moment. So it's a fantastic opportunity to really stamp their progress and stamp their firepower because they have to start quickly today.
Tied with Empire, 1 for 7 on the season. For bottom in the MASL in terms of the man advantage. Pinal. Rolled across, there's a shot just wide. Tyson Santos getting involved. How good has he been in his first MASL season? Willie Spur. Santos again will drive it. Couple of moves on the far side. Shalier, what a save! Navarrete got across, and at point-blank range, he stops it. That's just incredible goalkeeping, but Utica keep the pressure. Pinal! It is Junior Pinal who leads the team in points with the power play goal. And Utica on the board, it's 1-0.
Well, he kept knocking on the door 3-4 times, and Pinal just needed it to drop to him. Had the space after what was a fantastic save from Navarrete. In the end, he couldn't stop that one. That was fizz low and hard. Unstoppable, and a perfect start for Utica.
Right through the legs, and that'll take us to our first media timeout in the first quarter. It's Junior Pinal who gets Utica on the board. UCFC lead the Blast. Welcome back inside the Adirondack Bank Center. 1-0 the lead for Utica City over Baltimore after a Junior Pinal power play goal. We talked about it. Utica City came into the game tied for last in power play percentage. But on the first power play opportunity of the game, Junior Pinal finds the back of the net. And a good start for Utica, exactly what the doctor ordered after struggling to start the game yesterday, Nick.
It's what they needed, especially after what was such a positive second half yesterday, but the first 2 quarters just weren't good enough for Utica, and Baltimore need to respond.
That's Nicholas Whaley, Amarnath Pokral here from the Adirondack Bank Center as Utica City FC and the Baltimore Blast play the second game in a back-to-back series, home and away. These two teams will not meet again until the middle of February, February 15th. Ball down low to Tavares. He'll lay it back to Gio Alves. And again, Utica possessed in the attacking zone. Baltimore showing a bit more press and winning the ball back in transition. Mwape can't turn around just yet as he shakes off Mershad Amadi and plays Navarrete. Turnover. Amadi battling. Kyle Genrick will win possession again. There's that hustle from Kyle Genrick. Yeah, no stranger to it.
That's where Utica, though, has to be more positive, though. Cannot afford to give up the ball and then get back inside their own half. The opportunities will come by winning the ball higher up the pitch. And for Baltimore, it's almost the opposite. They don't mind just sitting back and letting Utica pass it around a little bit more. They do press with 2, but it's not the same way at Utica. They press 3, 4 guys at a time.
Over to Wilkin. He's no stranger to step up and shoot. This time he'll roll it down low for Pinal, who collects. Teixeira. Pinal again. Here's Pinal, trying to gain some space, but good defense. There's a shot from distance. It's comfortable for Navarrete at the end. They'll throw it long. And out of play from Navarrete. That one just comes with the inexperience. Hasn't played much this season, and in the first start, you expect a little bit of those distribution errors.
Yeah, he's just so much better with his feet as well. We've already seen a couple times in this game where he takes the ball from his own box and carries it at least to half field, and that's where when you getting that sixth player, that extra man gives you extra numbers, and especially the way Baltimore play, that's so valuable. So it's much better for him to have the ball at his feet.
Teixeira with pressure from Maldini Goncalves. Maldini was signed with Utica City last season, played a lot of MASL 2 minutes, and then was loaned by the MASL 2 side to Harrisburg, where he played the back end of last year and then signed with Baltimore in the offseason. The defensive clearance leads to a top-of-the-arc restart for Utica and another chance to set something up on a set play. Tyson Santos has been the quarterback on many of these top-of-the-arc restarts. Brazilian with great passing instincts. He'll roll it. The shot saved by Navarrete. Pinal. Willie Spur. Gio Alves down low. Here's Shalier. Barbaro Shalier back to goal. Great feed in. Alves, another great save by Navarrete. That's what, 2 or 3 that he's denied point-blank range.
He's keeping the game at 1-0. I mean, that ball from Sheila was absolutely perfect, but goalkeeper came out, made himself big, and that was a fantastic save. That's second or third that we've seen that's really has been key, and Baltimore just struggling to create anything at the moment.
Shalier again, great little feed to the top of the box, but unable to do anything with it. Utica maintained possession with Manny Silva. Shalier coming off of a hat trick last night against Baltimore. The last time he had a hat trick before that, it was last season, March 30th against the Texas Outlaws, when he scored 3 in his first MASL season. Really picked it up this year. 7 games, 7 goals for the striker. Already approaching last year's total of 9 goals in 12 games. Back down low. Utica keep it with Wanalava.
And once again, Baltimore looking for that opportunity to press high and win it.
There's contact on Kevon Frater. He's also someone who got a hat trick yesterday. Feels like you can say that about 3 players because that's exactly what happened. Jonatas Mello, Kevon Frater, Shalier, all of them. 3 goals, 1 assist last night. Today, much more defensive game with the differences in field structure playing a part as well onto how the team game plans for this matchup compared to the away matchup at the TU Arena. Wilkin goes long. He's looking for Toy Tavares, and this one rolls out of play and right into our camera down on the sideline.
It's all about, from a goalkeeper distribution perspective, have to get it right, especially when the balls are so low right at the edge of the pitch. If you get it right, you're right back into the opponent's territory. And for both goalkeepers, yeah, a little bit more on the rustier side. Both haven't played as much MASL as they probably would have wanted so far, but both have shown their ability so far.
2 keepers who did not start last night. It was Xavier Snare-Williams for Utica. Here's a turn and a shot and a goal. Baltimore equalize. It's the man who had 2 in this very building on New Year's Eve. Back on the score sheet again, Nico Williams fires home past Wilkin, and it's 1-1.
That was just a little bit of individual brilliance from Williams. Just found that little bit of space and just pinpointed his spot right into the bottom corner. Great with the left foot. And that's the thing with this Baltimore team. It's the individuals that really can make a difference. takes one touch of space, one lapse of concentration for Utica, and Baltimore will make them pay. And this is going to be a close one, I think, all night long.
3 goals for Williams on the season, all of them against Utica City FC. Here's a turn, more in space, and Wally Bramoose calling for a deflection. Baltimore almost with 2 quick-fire goals. Kyle Genrick, a last-ditch effort to get in and deflect that one high.
He had to get back there to Genrick. I mean, he got back just in time to deflect it over the bar. I mean, it happened so quickly as well. The distribution that time from Navarrete was perfect, right on the plate.
So Baltimore set up from the corner spot, off the boards. It hit Pinal. Wilkin wants a quick throw to Amati. Navarrete equal to it. A great little distribution by Navarrete. Kyle Genrick hangs on to possession for Utica. Here goes Pinal. Double teamed, and Utica reset to Alava. Under a minute to go in the first quarter. It's been quiet on the offensive front. Complete 180 from yesterday. Power play goal from Barbaro Chalier. An equalizer from Nico Williams. That's where we stand. 14 and a half minutes down. Kyle Genrick involved in a little trip right at midfield. Welly Bramoose and Genrick shake hands. Yesterday that might have been a little bit different, that interaction, but today seems like a little bit calmer between 2 players.
And the conversation, I think, from both head coaches was like, guys, we cannot afford we can't give up easy power plays like that. We cannot give up red cards in the way that, especially for Baltimore, yesterday without Silla, it's a huge miss for them.
Reset by Baltimore with 25 seconds to go. And this one lifted into the crowd. With 19 on the clock, maybe 1 run forward for Utica. They'll bring it with Brian Wilkin. 15 seconds and counting for Alava. Have to get the ball down low to get a chance on goal. 10 seconds to go. Amati, he can create an inch of space from anywhere. Far corner, here's Chalier. With 2 seconds rolled across, and that'll do it for the first quarter. A Chalier power play goal, a Nico Williams equalizer, and that's where we stand. 1 quarter down, it's tied 1-1. You're watching the MASL on MASL TV.
At Aquavino, every meal is a moment. Whether it's date night, a quick lunch, or celebrating a special event, enjoy Italian-American favorites. Aquavino Restaurant, growing our family 1 plate at a time.
What's your story? What moments make life an adventure? Community is where memories happen. At Bank of Utica, enriching our community for current and future generations has been part of our mission since 1927. By supporting local, community-focused organizations, we work together to open doors to education, the arts, and meaningful career paths. Making stories to remember. Bank with Utica.
At Rome Health, we bring the best orthopedic and sports medicine care right to your neighborhood. Our experienced team includes orthopedic surgeons, sports medicine specialists, and physical therapists working together to get you back to the things that you love to do. So whether you need an injection for arthritis pain, rotator cuff surgery, a joint replacement, or help recovering from a concussion, we're committed to delivering superior care to you. Rome Health, the best orthopedic care out there, here.
What a save! What a save! What a save! And now it's your turn to save here at Master Vito Hyundai on Commercial Drive in Yorkville or online anytime at mastervitohyundai.com. Make your move to Master Vito Hyundai.
Babe's Restaurant and Bar believes great food brings people together. From comfort classics to crowd favorites, there's something for everyone. Open daily for lunch and dinner, plus brunch on the weekends. Come home to Babe's.
Welcome back to the Adirondack Bank Center as we get set for the second quarter of action between Baltimore and Utica. The MASL is brought to you by Capelli. Capelli Sport is the official and exclusive preferred uniform and apparel provider of the Major Arena Soccer League. Visit MASLsoccer.com to shop the all-new MASL Fan Store for the latest MASL and team gear. You can also visit MASLsoccer.com because it's your home for everything Major Arena Soccer League. All the latest news, leaderboards, highlights, and more. Visit MASLsoccer.com. If you think you can predict the MASL, head over to NXTBets.com to place your wagers on all the MASL action this season. Alongside Nicholas Whaley, I'm Arnaud Pokrell. And Nicholas, first quarter went a lot different than how we expected it to. We didn't see as much physicality, and we saw a lot of defense shining for these two teams.
And both teams, I think, want to be a little bit more patient compared to yesterday, especially for Utica. They knew that they couldn't afford any mistakes. Defensive mistakes were so vital yesterday that helped Baltimore really just get out in front. It was 8-3 at halftime yesterday in favor of Baltimore. Utica just didn't have enough to really fight their way back. But they're showing a lot of the characteristics we saw in the second half yesterday. Utica just being more patient, being more confident on the ball. But Baltimore, the thing is, they can really just create something out of nothing. This individual talent is so strong, and I expect them to showcase that once again here in the second quarter.
Teixeira gets us underway, and immediately Utica look to the corner for Pinal. It is the main man, Junior Pinal. It was his power play goal, that got Utica underway. Shalier with a great day yesterday. Pinal and Nico Williams, the two goal scorers for UCFC. This one off the boards and cleared away by Marco Nascimento, One back by Utica, Teixeira. Good activity on the ball. There's a harsh slide tackle and trip after by Jairo Guevara. He leads Baltimore in blue cards with 3 on the season. Always a physical presence. Teixeira resets. Pass intended for Howard Miller Jr. Navarrete will clear it away. Gio Alves brings it down. Teixeira, with pressure on his back, will leave it to Wilkin.
That's why Utica cannot afford to make those mistakes on those diagonal passes, especially when they're so easy to connect.
Here is Shalier looking for space. Hat-trick yesterday. Pinal had just 1 assist. He's already got a goal today, Junior Pinal. Genrick off the boards, intended for Shalier. Genrick may have telegraphed the header back, but he'll win it back for Utica. Genrick tripped up on the play. Alava will collect. And again, all the way back to Brian Wilkin.
Kyle Genrick did ever so well, though, just to win the ball back. Didn't give up on the play.
Howard Miller takes a shot. Navarrete. A little slip of the hands, but it stays out of the back of the net, and at the end of the day, that's most important.
Yeah, that's the first time we've seen even the smallest slip-up for Navarrete. I mean, he's been excellent for Baltimore so far in this game. He's so confident. Even when he is technically the backup, the goalkeeping crew for Baltimore is just so strong.
Julian Rodriguez, this season one of the best. Shot stopping has been excellent for him. Baltimore, one of the top defensive units because of that. Him, Boris Pardo, Philip Ejimadu. I mean, the list of stellar goalkeepers, but you look at a guy like Navarrete who hasn't had the opportunity and yet is delivering in a day like today. Poor pass, goes back to Bramoose, but it's out of play. 1-1, Junior Pinal back on the score sheet after not scoring against Baltimore yesterday. We don't say that very often with Junior Pinal, but gets right back on the score sheet today with a goal on the power play. Wilkin, great crossfield pass. Intended for Amadi. Amadi. Stevens will take it himself, stumbling a little bit, and will play back to Manny Silva.
Good defending there from Baltimore. Had to just stay compact, couldn't dive in too quickly. Stevens just took maybe just a little bit too long, couldn't get it out of his feet.
Ball goes out of play. Murshad Amadi returns to the lineup for Utica after suffering a hamstring injury a couple of weeks ago. Back to Alava. Amadi's a player who, powerful right foot, powerful left foot. He really doesn't have a weak foot. And can create space out of nothing. Was one of the leaders in MASL 2 last season in terms of goals. There's Wilkin going long. Great feed to Toy Tavares. He's played a lot more advanced today, Tavares, than we're used to seeing. Alava wins it back. Option out wide to Silva. And Silva shrugged down. Whistle blows, and it is a foul on Baltimore.
Tavares did excellently, just to got his body in the right position and just created that space on the left-hand side.
Benny Silva wins the foul for Utica. Gerson with the shot after the free kick. Rolled across. Pinol just wide again. Would have been 2 goals that were almost carbon copies, exactly, just rolling free. A powerful low shot. And the crossfield pass from Amadi is not there. Baltimore on the counter. Contact high from Alava. Whistle blows in favor of Utica City FC. Jonatas Mello called for the foul. It's been a quiet day from Mello. We expected a little bit more from him offensively. I think Baltimore just hasn't got on the ball.
And they haven't. And credit to Utica City so far in this game. They've able to stretch the field that little bit more. And when they do have possession, Baltimore is happy just to sit that little bit deeper. And they have to wait for the counterattack, but they're able to connect passes so well when they do get the ball. But once again, Utica's defense has been so good.
Great tackle from Genrick. I mean, how good has Kyle Genrick been today? And even yesterday when Utica was losing, scores a goal in that game. Doesn't really fill up the stat sheet too much, but it's those unsung plays, those tackles at the back end, the plays in transition that he's made today. I mean, he's been one of the best players on the field.
I think he's been Utica City's best player so far in this game, just because of that work rate, the energy he gives to the team. Even if he loses the ball, he's right back on his feet and tries to win it back.
Shalier just high. Did good to win some space on the far side. Barbaro Shalier played for the Cuban national futsal team. Brought that experience over to Utica City last year. Here's pressure on Navarrete, who goes down. And Wilkin a step behind the play. Good recovery by the netminder as Maldini was bearing down on goal.
Wilkin there, didn't think he had a bit more time than he actually had, right on the heels of the goalkeeper.
Still 1-1, power play goal by Junior Pinal. As there's a chance in front, Wilkin had to wait for the potential deflection. Bad turnover by Utica. Chance to break from Maldini. Great tackle by Teixeira. And now the break is on. Stevens has Shalier. Wasn't a great first touch. And Stevens has to reset and actually loses possession. Shalier was out in the open in a 2-on-1, and Utica couldn't find him.
That's the second time Stevens just held onto the ball for just too long. He had options right ahead of him too. A big missed opportunity for Utica.
Chavez, ever so quick on the ball. Will lay it back to Juan Pereira. Again, no Julian Rodriguez in goal today. It is George Navarrete for Baltimore. On the other side, Brian Wilkin returns to net after the first game he didn't start this season. Last night against Baltimore, it was Xavier Snare-Williams who played in that noon kickoff. But Xavier Snare-Williams only ended up playing about 32 minutes. Went down with an injury, and Wilkin had to come in and play in his stead. Snare-Williams remains out. The backup today for Utica City is Drew Taylor. Plays a lot for the MASL 2 side here in Utica. United Elite Kreisnik FC was the MASL 2 second team goalkeeper last season. Essentially the second best goalkeeper in the league. A big honor for him in his rookie season, and now he's a backup today. Genrick gets us underway again. 8.5 minutes to go. Here's Alava. Pressure coming. Alava's got a little gap on the boards. He'll play it up to Silva, but pass is too long. Does give a chance for some counterplay for Utica, and Tavares just overstepped. Genrick, contact through the back, and that one is a foul, no doubt, on Kyle Genrick.
It's a little bit cagey, I think, at the moment. Both teams just don't want to bite too much because they know the gaps will open up.
Chance for Baltimore the other way. And that one goes out of play. It is a defensive clearance, and it will be a top-of-the-arc restart. Calling all artists, head to MASLsoccer.com to take part in the first ever MASL coloring contest. 3 winners will receive a $100 gift certificate to Capelli Sport. Don't delay. Submissions are due February 1st, 2026.
I think you should enter, Arnav. I know you're an artist at heart.
You know, I drew a little bit. Art was the only elementary school class I ever got to be in, though, so I don't know if art's been my thing. Here's, with 8 minutes to go, a chance for Baltimore on the set play. Rebound right to Wilkin. Good little draw up. It's a Baltimore team that has been excellent on set pieces this year. As a defensive clearance by Tyson Santos. Contact with Tyson Santos, but no call on Juan Pereira. May have gone down a bit too easy for the referee's liking.
I like that decision overall. I think both guys going for the ball. It was a 50-50 in the air. Overall, I think it's fair enough that it wasn't a foul.
And now a yellow card shown to the Baltimore bench, led by head coach David Bascombe. 17-year veteran, 12 seasons as the assistant. And that will take us to the media timeout. David Bascombe, the yellow for dissent. It's still 1-1. Penal, power play goal. Baltimore rebounded with Williams at the end of the first. Midway through the second, still tied. You're watching MASL on MASL TV. Welcome back inside the Adirondack Bank Center alongside Nicholas Whaley. I'm Arnav Pokrell. Catch MASL Monday every Monday night on MASL TV and CBS Sports Golazo Network. Alex Bastavansky, Phil Levanko joined each week by special guests from across the league to recap the weekend's games and discuss the league's hot topics. Also stream games live on MASLplus.tv and replay the game on demand. Clip it, share it, and live it again. Favorite your team to get instant updates on every single game. 1-1 midway through the second. And the defense still the story of this one. Nick, as we're back underway with Juan Alava. And we're seeing Baltimore step up the pressure a little bit coming out of the media timeout.
I think they need to a little bit. The standing back, sitting back a little bit more and not pressing until Utica gets to half field, that hasn't worked. And it working already, that higher press.
Jonatas Mello won the ball back. Utica City gain it again. Here's Gio Alves with a second to assess the situation. We'll play back to Alava. Alves again. He'll go to the corner. Penal's there, battling for it on the boards. Took a swing and was defended well. And here come Baltimore on the break. Laid out wide. Thompson. Into space. Goes Kelvin Wape. Thompson again. Thompson also a player that was hurt in that New Year's Eve game here. Back in the lineups. As there's a shot high off the boards. been quiet in terms of chances for these two teams, especially in this second quarter. 6 minutes to go. There's a feed across and right on cue. Some offense for Baltimore. Mwape will line one up and miss it. Penal can break for Utica. And immediately someone there to guard Penal. You can't give him time or space.
He's got two guys on him practically every time, and he has to because he's so good at turning with pressure.
There's a chance for Teixeira on the volley. Would have been a great finish. Instead, just a second too wide. Battle right along the Utica bench. One back. Here's Teixeira again. Amadi trying to use the boards to his advantage. Juan Pereira can't believe there wasn't a foul called. Alava intended for Shalir. Swing and a miss on the defensive end by Utica, and a break is on. Here's Mwape. Kelvin Mwape will turn around. And Baltimore, again, reset defensively. Final 5 minutes of the first half. It has been a cagey affair, to say the least, but we haven't seen as much physicality as we did yesterday at the TU Arena. Good clearance by Alava, and he'll go off for a change.
That's one thing both teams haven't really done in this game is use the boards to their advantage. We're seeing a little bit more from Baltimore towards the end of this quarter, especially on the near side. If you're using the boards to your advantage, you can create that little bit more space, get it played down the line, and that's where Baltimore's so threatening, is right towards the edge of the box on the right-hand side. They're so good at getting there and playing it across goal.
Rolled back as Chavez will take it underway again. Good little back heel flick. Chavez on the turn, saved by Wilkin. I think he just got his left hand to it to make the stop. Still with Baltimore. Options both ways. Mello, the intended target. And again, defensive interference by Utica, crucial. Here's a chance to break for Amadi. Amadi on the volley, just missed it. Back up top, Teixeira leaves it to Spur. Willie Spur, averaging 1.1 points per game as Tyson Santos resets. Stevens gets the better of Bramus for a moment, but turns it over. Help defensively, gives it back to Alava.
That counter press from Utica really working well. Good quick changes as well to keep the energy high.
You've got that advantage, especially if you're holding possession in the attacking zone. That bench is right there to make those changes, whereas Baltimore can't really change on defense. It's a long trek as Navarrete makes a save. Manny Silva, good shot. There's a shrug into the boards, and immediately blue card shown for Baltimore as Silva's on the ground. Get the latest news on the MASL and your favorite teams by following MASL Soccer on Facebook and Instagram, and MASL Arena on Twitter. You can also subscribe to MASL TV on YouTube for game rebroadcasts, MASL shows, highlights, and more. MASL TV on YouTube. There's the blue card shown to Welly Bramus, and that's a quick fire, another power play opportunity, and Nick, no doubt about that one.
Yeah, no doubt. Right into the board. Silva just took a real big hit there. Back on his feet, so he should be fine, but worst possible time for Baltimore. 3:25 left in the half. Two-minute power play. What an opportunity for Utica. Already scored one goal on the power play already in this game. And when they were on the power play, they were peppering shots at the Baltimore net.
Junior Penal with the power play goal. His first power play goal of the season, just Utica's second. But it's the second in as many home games. Scored a power play goal against San Diego last Sunday. Here is Penal on the boards. Minute 45 on the power play. Spur, double team, spins out of it. Spur takes it right back in, off the boards in the corner. Confirmation of that Bramus boarding penalty. Rolled back up top, here's Shalir. Penal out in the far corner if Utica want to use him. Instead, Spur will play it to Tyson Santos on the volley, just wide. Here goes Spur, rolled it, looking to the back post. That's intelligent. Good look there from Spur. He had Alves at the back post, just couldn't find it.
There's not enough movement for Utica at the moment. It's very static in offense at the moment. They're just waiting.
Chalier, Spur, has Tyson Santos, will play it to him. Santos, Alves. Alves spinning around. Good defensive pressure from Baltimore, but now here's a gap for Spur. Across the other way, saved by Navarrete. Right off the boards by Pinal. 38 seconds on the power play for the Welly Bramoose. Boarding call. Half a minute on the man advantage for Utica. Definitely not as positive as the first power play opportunity. Pressure coming. Here's a breakaway now. Baltimore the other way. And Tyson Santos, good hustle back with 18 seconds on the power play. Got to move quickly if you want to utilize this extra attacker opportunity.
Can we see a bit more movement from the wide players for Utica? There's waiting in the corners, and it's just not providing those same opportunities we saw on the first power play.
4 seconds left. Alves just high, and that will do it for the power play. So a penalty kill for the Baltimore penalty kill unit that came into today at an 80% clip. They're one for two now after giving up the power play goal earlier to Pinal. Here's a chance off the boards. Out wide again. Welly Bramoose will take it after just coming back in the game. Bit of a shove down on Bramoose, and this time he wins the foul. And a little bit of contact after the whistle between Chavez and Teixeira. We're maybe seeing the levels rise a little bit here, Nicholas.
Just slightly. Just 60 seconds left in the half. This is where now Baltimore at full strength. This is where Utica City could be really vulnerable. A goal right before the break. How it'd be so important just for the momentum of the game, where there's really nothing between these two teams at the moment.
Baltimore did score right before the break, and the last time these two teams met here at the Adirondack Bank Center on New Year's Eve, it was a bit of a controversial thing because the clock didn't run, for about 10 to 20 seconds during the run of play, and that Baltimore goal was scored in the final 15 seconds. So there was some uproar about that here at the Adirondack Bank Center. Like you mentioned, Nick, a goal here for either team would be a big blow for momentum.
Let's watch out for the top of the box here.
Rolled back to Chavez with 35 seconds in the first half. In a tense defensive affair between Utica City FC and the Baltimore Blast. Both teams much more organized today than in yesterday's game. 15 seconds to go. Here's Toy Tavares. What can he produce offensively? Looking wide to Gerson, but pass just wasn't there. Big slide challenge by Alava. Bodies flying everywhere in the final 3 seconds. Can there be one final shot? There is not. It's held up along the far side boards, and for the first half, we end scoreless at just one goal apiece. Pinal in the power play, one way. Nico Williams the other way, his third goal of the season, all of them against Utica. And Nicholas, definitely a different vibe of the game than what we were expecting for sure.
Well, yesterday it was 8-3 at halftime in favor of Baltimore, just the 2 goals in this game. It's a fascinating contest. Both teams, it's a bit cagey. Both teams don't want to dive too much. They don't want to make that mistake because they know each team will capitalize on them, but it'll be a fascinating second half.
And you've got Michael Lear down low with Junior Pinal. Michael's going to take it away.
Junior, you guys come off the game yesterday, battled to a tie through the first half here. What was the last 24 hours like of traveling and getting this first half out of the way?
Well, we just wanted to come back and play already. We lost yesterday, and we just want to get our revenge back and win at home.
You grabbed the power play goal that makes this a 1-1 game. What happened on that, and how do you feel about the power play right now?
Our power play looks okay. We scored. We were moving the ball fast. Getting shots, we got a lot of shots off. That's a good thing. We've been working on that, and we were efficient, and we got a goal.
Nice. And what do you think for the second half? What's the message going to be in the locker room?
We can't start off bad. We're gonna keep the intensity up, keep getting shots off. The goals are gonna come, and hopefully we walk off with a win.
Thanks, Junior. Good luck.
Thank you.
That's Junior Pinal, everybody.
That's Michael Lear down low with Junior Pinal. We're tied at 1 as we head to halftime. We'll step aside from the Adirondack Bank Center. Baltimore 1, Utica 1. You're watching MASL Soccer on MASL.
At Aquavino, every meal is a moment, whether it's date night, a quick lunch, or celebrating a special event. Enjoy Italian-American favorites. Aquavino Restaurant, growing our family one plate at a time.
What's your story? What moments make life an adventure? Community is where memories happen. At Bank of Utica, enriching our community for current and future generations has been part of our mission since 1927. By supporting local, community-focused organizations, we work together to open doors to education, the arts, and meaningful career paths. Making stories to remember. Bank with Utica.
At Rome Health, we bring the best orthopedic and sports medicine care right to your neighborhood. Our experienced team includes orthopedic surgeons, sports medicine specialists, and physical therapists working together to get you back to the things that you love to do. So whether you need an injection for arthritis pain, rotator cuff surgery, a joint replacement, or help recovering from a concussion, we're committed to delivering superior care to you. Rome Health, the best orthopedic care out there, here.
What a save! What a save! What a save! And now it's your turn to save here at Master Vito Hyundai on Commercial Drive in Yorkville or online anytime at mastervitohyundai.com. Make your move to Master Vito Hyundai.
Babe's Restaurant and Bar believes great food brings people together. From comfort classics to crowd favorites, there's something for everyone. Open daily for lunch and dinner, plus brunch on the weekends. Come home to Babe's.
Welcome back on MASL TV. It's halftime between Baltimore and Utica City FC. I'm joined by Kyle Genry. Kyle, out of Comac, New York, the Long Island area. Now you're up here in upstate New York. Now, what are some of the differences you've noticed in your past couple of years here in upstate?
Yes, I mean, the weather, it's kind of the same. It's not too different, but a lot more snow, a lot bigger piles of snow everywhere. So that's the biggest difference, but I like it. I've been here for a while. I went to college upstate too, so I'm used to it. That's it.
Wanted to mention your time at Oswego, a really successful career there for 4 years. You were in Oswego. You're still with the program now as an assistant coach. What's that transition been like? Now you're coaching players that I'm sure you played with the past couple of years.
Yeah, it's especially coaching this year. It was a lot different. I played with about like 10 of them, so I had a lot of personal things with them, and they're great people. Playing there was a little different. The level is just a bit different. There's a big gap, but I learned a lot about myself. I know that I'm able to compete at a high level since I've been here last year. But that was the biggest thing with me. I wanted to challenge myself. I never played the indoor game before. You know, I'm a lot more comfortable this year, which is good. I think it shows a little bit, but I'm excited.
And for you, you got that first taste of indoor soccer last year. Started out with the MASL2 team, Kreisnick FC, and you broke into the UCFC lineup later on in the year. What are some of the, obviously speed of play we talk about so often with the biggest differences in the game. What were some personal challenges for you that you kind of had to learn about this indoor game?
I had a really rough time, honestly. I don't know if it showed, but just the confidence aspect of it, I had to learn everything. Just the touch of the ball, everything was different for me. I had to use the bottom of my foot. The instincts were off, so just adapting to it was, I just try to play simple, just get my feet under and play a smart game. And then now this year I could do a little more for the team and get forward, score some goals, and create.
Something that a lot of fans and players have noticed around the league is your energy. It feels like every time you step out on the field, you're running like a chicken with its head cut off. You're always active. How do you take that mentality and, every time you step on the field, you're switched on?
Yeah, it started when I was younger. Just my coaches, I was always a smaller guy, so that's what I had to do. It's a part of the game, and it's easy, like if I'm fit, I could run, I have legs, I mean, I could do it, and everyone could do it. It's just about that effort. It could change the game, like in the Milwaukee game, just a little spark for the team, but that's the easiest job in my part, is just to run if I'm able to.
And really quickly, one final thing. Is this past 2 years playing indoor soccer, is there one memory that sticks out that you think you'll remember for a long time?
Just my first goal last year, for sure, against Harrisburg. I had a few of my friends here. It will just stick with me for the rest of my life, for sure.
Perfect. Thank you very much,
Thank
Kyle.
you.
We'll be back after this break. It's halftime on MASL TV.
At Aquavino, every meal is a moment. Whether it's date night, a quick lunch, or celebrating a special event, enjoy Italian-American favorites. Aquavino Restaurant, growing our family one plate at a time.
What's your story? What moments make life an adventure? Community is where memories happen. At Bank of Utica, enriching our community for current and future generations has been part of our mission since 1927. By supporting local, community-focused organizations, we work together to open doors to education, the arts, and meaningful career paths. Making stories to remember. Bank with Utica.
At Rome Health, we bring the best orthopedic and sports medicine care right to your neighborhood. Our experienced team includes orthopedic surgeons, sports medicine specialists, and physical therapists working together to get you back to the things that you love to do. So whether you need an injection for arthritis pain, rotator cuff surgery, a joint replacement, or help recovering from a concussion, we're committed to delivering superior care to you. Rome Health, the best orthopedic care out there, here.
What a save! What a save! What a save! And now it's your turn to save here at Mastervito Hyundai on Commercial Drive in Yorkville or online anytime at mastervitohyundai.com. Make your move to Mastervito Hyundai.
Babe's Restaurant and Bar believes great food brings people together. From comfort classics to crowd favorites, there's something for everyone. Open daily for lunch and dinner, plus brunch on the weekends. Come home to Babe's.
Shoot! He scores!
How goes it, folks? This is MASL in 5, back for another week. Hope everyone is doing great. Things are heating up across the league, and there are some big matchups happening this weekend. I've only got 5 minutes to fill you in, so let's get to it.
Inside for Lima. Lima with a strike, it's wide. 5 seconds on the clock. Caceres, it's a heel flick goal. Nani Mendoza levels it with 3.3 seconds at the Excesso Showwear Center. The Tacoma Stars have forced overtime.
Nani Mendoza with a flair for the dramatic as he ties it up at the death for Tacoma last week against St. Louis. Overtime solved nothing, so they went to the shootout. Michael Ramos beats Paulo Nascimento here to put the Stars up. And then on the next play, Robbie Cristo can't put it home. Tacoma pulls out the unlikely 7-6 comeback win over St. Louis. It was a big week for San Diego, who traveled east. First stop was Baltimore. The Blast shot out of the gate, scoring the first 3 goals of the game, but the Sockers rallied back, scoring 5 in a row. San Diego showing its resilience. They take down the Blast 9-6. The next day, the Sockers were in Utica, and again, they were down early by 3 goals. Once again, though, they managed.
Where are you going? West for the 2026 Pee Wee tournament. Wait, we're going in this? I don't think we're all going to fit.
Want your shot at this Corvette? Davidson of Rome is giving you the chance to win. $100 per ticket, only 2,000 tickets available. Proceeds benefit the Save of the Day Foundation and the Utica Junior Comets trip to the 2026 Quebec Pee Wee tournament.
This is your shot to win. Get your ticket today.
Paced the Strikers with 4 points. He was the game's first star as they thumped Tacoma 10-3. 2 of the league's oldest rivals locked horns once again in Kansas City as the Comets hosted the Wave. It was tight the entire way in this one, but ultimately the Wave just a bit too much, winning it 7-6. Mario Alvarez had 5 points for Milwaukee. And it was a special day and week for Comets broadcaster Nick Vassos. The city of Kansas City proclaimed January 8th to be Nick Vassos Day, and the Comets honored the longtime broadcaster during the game. 30 years Nick has been calling games for the Comets. Congratulations, buddy. One big matchup this weekend to spotlight. San Diego travels to Milwaukee to face the Wave. Arguably the league's top two teams so far. The Wave knocked off 8-4 in their lone meeting of the season back on December 7th. Kickoff is 7:05 p.m. in Milwaukee. Let's take a look at your scoring leaders thus far. Zach Reagan continuing to dominate with 23 points. His teammate Rayon Marquez second with 17. And then three guys knotted at 16 points apiece. Sanchez, Charlie Gonzalez, and from Baltimore, Donatos Mello to round out your top five. Your players of the week: in goal, Boris Pardo from the San Diego Sockers. Offensively, his teammate Nick Pereira getting the nod. And defensively, Mario Alvarez, Super Mario from the Milwaukee Wave. Let's start with Nick. He had 4 points and was named the first star in the game as he helped rally the Sockers back from a huge deficit against the Blast. Mario Alvarez, fantastic against the KC Comets. He was also named first star in that game. 5 points in the contest, 2 goals and 3 assists. And in goal, Boris Pardo, fantastic between the posts. He stopped 11 of 12 shots against UCFC to help San Diego come back in that game. Your plays of the week now.
Back out wide, Silva, down low to Pinal. Option is Alves. Off the boards to himself. What a goal!
Tetsane to Nacho, cross to Reagan. Top shelf where Grandma keeps the cookies.
Danny Waltman was our first. Al-Salami fires it. Que golazo! Yuri calls his own number off the boards. Correa goes sliding. Cristo, wide open goal.
Chavez breaks out. Chavez speed. Chavez down the wing. He scores! Chavez, what a run to tie the game at 5!
Trust your team. Oh, Reagan almost got it over Willie B, who flew.
At Aquavino, every meal is a moment. Whether it's date night, a quick lunch, or celebrating a special event, enjoy Italian-American favorites. Aquavino Restaurant, growing our family one plate at a time.
What's your story? What moments make life an adventure? Community is where memories happen. At Bank of Utica, enriching our community for current and future generations has been part of our mission since 1927. By supporting local, community-focused organizations, we work together to open doors to education, the arts, and meaningful career paths. Making stories to remember. Bank with Utica.
At Rome Health, we bring the best orthopedic and sports medicine care right to your neighborhood. Our experienced team includes orthopedic surgeons, sports medicine specialists, and physical therapists working together to get you back to the things that you love to do. So whether you need an injection for arthritis pain, rotator cuff surgery, a joint replacement, or help recovering from a concussion, we're committed to delivering superior care to you. Rome Health, the best orthopedic care out there, here.
What a save! What a save! What a save! And now it's your turn to save here at Master Vito Hyundai on Commercial Drive in Yorkville or online anytime at mastervitohyundai.com. Make your move to Master Vito Hyundai.
Babe's Restaurant and Bar believes great food brings people together. From comfort classics to crowd favorites, there's something for everyone. Open daily for lunch and dinner, plus brunch on the weekends. Come home to Babe's. Lunch and dinner, plus brunch on the weekends. Come home to Babe's.
Creative, fast, strong, agile, dependable. Just has that special something.
What makes a great player?
The same thing that makes a great vehicle.
Let's go, Utica! Let's go!
Davidson of Rome.
Nice.
proud sponsor of the Utica City Football Club.
Welcome back inside the Adirondack Bank Center alongside Nicholas Whaley. I'm Arnaud Fokral. And what a cagey defensive match we have on our hands between Baltimore and Utica. At this point yesterday, halftime between Baltimore and Utica in the TU Arena, the score was 8-3 in favor of the Baltimore Blast. Today, it's tied 1-1 as Junior Panal has the power play goal for Utica. Baltimore Blast got a rebound goal, or a response, I should say, with Nico Williams. 3 goals, all of them this season against Utica, and no goals in that second quarter, but a lot of good defense played between two teams, Nicholas.
Certainly, and I think in a lot of ways, it's the complete opposite of what we saw yesterday. It was 8-3 at halftime, Baltimore in front, and it was a game that Baltimore they kept putting on the pressure. There were the individual mistakes from a Utica perspective defensively, but that's been all cleaned up today. You know, the second half was so much better for Utica yesterday. It was 4-4 overall, but both teams just when they're both at their best and they're both just competing at the levels that each of them can, there's really nothing between them. And I think in a lot of ways the way that Utica really came out in this game was so positive. You know, they've got 12 shots total on the day. Already 8 of them came in that first half. And what was disappointing, though, was on that second power play for Utica, there was no movement. It was very static. There wasn't a lot of – I needed to see more diagonal runs just to try and open up the space, because that's what created that first goal for Utica, was creating that chaos. And we didn't see that on that second one, which was a bit of a disappointing factor. But on a Baltimore perspective, Williams, I thought that finish was just tip-top. Really did excellently to just work it onto his left foot and find the bottom corner. That's where Baltimore is just so dangerous. They have that individual quality and that ability to create that half a yard of space, which is all you really need in MASL to get a shot away, to get a chance at goal. I still think Navarrete in goal for Baltimore has been their best player. He was excellent, made a couple really key saves in that first half. And in a lot of ways, it shows just how strong this Baltimore roster really is. You know, when even your backup goalkeeper is arguably been your best player. You know, it shows how good this Blast team really is, and it's going to be a fascinating second half.
We were both a bit shocked to see George Navarrete in the starting lines for Baltimore, but he's put all those decisions to rest with his play in the first half for the Blast. I mean, what an incredible half from him. A couple of point-blank saves. He's really kept this game at 1-1. Wilkin hasn't had too much to do on the other side. He's made a couple of simple saves, a dive or two, but really the pressure from Utica and standing on his head is George Navarrete in net for Baltimore. Listen, we spoke with head coach Everton Moreira for Utica City before the game, as a lot of different things come into play when these two teams meet. And one thing he said that I thought stuck out to me was every home game is a must-win for Utica City FC, not just looking at the standings, but because how Utica wants to present itself to the fans and to the city. It does feel like the intensity ramps up when this team is at home.
Absolutely, it's one of the best home arena advantages we have in the league. You know, the crowd is always on their feet. It's one of the best in all of MASL. But the reality is that Utica have to stop picking up some more points. You know, and the biggest opportunity to do that, and the easiest way to do that, is to win your home games. You know, and it's a Utica team that does have those expectations of fighting at the top of MASL every season, and we haven't seen them at their best just yet. It's waiting to get players back from injury and getting back to full fitness and have the full roster here. But the other thing that was interesting that he said was that this team is still rising. They're still developing every single day. Every single game they're getting better and better. Maybe some other teams have sort of leveled up. They're at their peak already, and they've stayed consistent. We've seen across MASL there's been some really high quality soccer so far in 2026, and I expect that to continue because we've got two really good teams on display today. Both teams easily capable of making the postseason.
The biggest thing that Utica hasn't done this season is get a regulation win. Both wins, one against Baltimore, one against Milwaukee, came in overtime. That's only 2 points in the standings compared to those 3 points you get for a regulation win. So I think emphasis has to be on if you have a chance in the final minute of play and it's still tied, go for it.
Absolutely, and I think that's a huge thing for Utica. Is that this has to be a strong second half, especially once we get to that fourth quarter. It's got to be, even if it is still tied and if it's a one-goal game, it has to be aggressive. You have to put more shots, keep testing Navarrete in net for Baltimore, and it's a Utica team that just. The shots that have come in, the ones that haven't been on target, they've been close. They've been right on the outside of the frame. It's going to be a fascinating second half for both teams.
Underway in the third quarter between the Baltimore Blast and Utica City FC, and it was Junior Pinal who scored the power play goal to get the scoring started. Nico Williams, the equalizer for Baltimore. And a turnover right away gives UCFC a chance with some possession. There is acting captain Juan Alava. Logan Roberts still dealing with an ankle injury. It's bothered him for the last 3-4 years. Since the move to Utica, he's a player who started playing when it was the Syracuse Silver Knights. All the way back in 2016, Roberts is a veteran and a presence that Utica can't wait to have back when he's fully fit. Pinal. Rolled in, Alava will drop it back. Something interesting we've seen today is the defenders for Utica, whether it's positionally or just within the game. Alava stepped into the midfield. Toy Tavares is playing almost like a second forward for Utica today, and goes to show the versatility that Utica has at their disposal with those types of players that you can play anywhere on the field.
The goal for Tavares, I think, is to get the ball up to him and have him give him that little bit more of hold-up play and get the numbers in wide spaces.
Here's a chance on the break. Maldini rolls it across. Frater, and it just overran it, as there's a shot with the outside of the foot. Maldini tracks it down, but Junior Pinal is there first for Utica.
And Baltimore could do better there, I think, in a lot of ways. Had the numbers, had the space, and you got Maldini in there. He had time, had a little bit, maybe just rushed the passing attempt there as well. That's where Baltimore really in this game haven't been proficient offensively like we saw them yesterday.
Great breakout play by Utica. 3-on-2 from Manny Silva. Silva goes all the way and scores! It is coast to coast for Manny Silva, and his first goal in the Adirondack Bank Center this season gives Utica a 2-1 lead.
All on his own. Absolutely brilliant. Silva just carried it from his own half. Had the space, no one closing him down, and just a rocket with the left foot. Had the time to get his head up as well, and it was a rocket, no stopping that one. And a huge moment for him, a huge moment in the game. The perfect start to the second half for Utica.
Scored away against Baltimore in that January 4th overtime victory, but was waiting for that first home goal of the season. Here's a chance right away for Baltimore. What a relief. You know, he's so quick, and he's had those opportunities to score at home, and finally this season finds the back of the net. Must feel so good. And you saw the relief in the celebration. Just turned around, celebrated with the teammates as he scores in the Adirondack Bank Center. First time in a long time.
But it was just a perfect way to just get the second half going. I said that Utica had to be aggressive. They had to find a way back in front. Because, like you mentioned, Arnav, they have to get a win in regulation. The overtime wins are good and all. Like, it's, of course, but you're only getting that one extra point. Have to get 3 points on the board to climb up that table. And the easiest way to do that is do it at home.
Foul called on Utica. Back to Manny Silva. Ended last year on such a great stretch. He had 9 goals in 6 games to close off last year's regular season stretch. This year, though, struggling. He only had 1 goal prior to that one. In now 8 appearances, he's got his 2nd goal of the season. Free kick upcoming for the Blast, and it's a Blast team that knows how to respond. We've seen it time and time again, especially against this very Utica side. Feels like every game they play, the Blast just do enough to hang in there and then make it close. Mello fires. It's saved by Wilkin. Hat-trick yesterday for Jonatas Mello. Hat-trick yesterday for Barbaro Chalier for Utica, as well as Kevon Frater for Baltimore in that 12-7 thriller. Here's a look at the save by Wilkin in the replay.
I think there for Wilkin, though, is he just rushed his distribution there and nearly gave the ball right back to Baltimore. Again, I think he's much better with the ball at his feet as well. And while he can get the ball in the right areas in the distribution, he's so good at just being that sixth player, that another body going forward.
Pass to the corner, cut out by Baltimore, but Alava, the high press to force Marco Nascimento into a little bit of an uncomfortable situation. Still with Baltimore, Navarrete will lay it off. There's a little bit of contact on the boards. Bascombe on the bench a little bit unhappy as contact out wide. Tavares late run onto the ball. It'll remain with Utica. Willie Spur. His pass intended for that board. This one hits the referee. Spur back with it. Pops out to Tavares for a second, and now here goes the speedy Alejandro Chavez. Turns on the burners. Chavez denied by Wilkin. One-on-one stop for the netminder. And we said it was a quiet day so far, but he's locked in and makes that one a great stop, and now the chance to break away. Penal looking for Gerson. Great one-on-one save for Brian Wilkin.
Fantastically done. Read it beautifully. Makes the save and got it away from pressure as well. Big opportunity, though, for Baltimore.
Penal. Rolled across. It'll fall. Teixeira, another great save by Navarrete. We're seeing two goalkeepers at their best right now in Wilkin and Navarrete.
Teixeira can do better there, though. He hit it right towards the goalkeeper. Put that in the left corner, and it's 3-1 Utica.
Two big chances missed either way. First it was Chavez for Baltimore, and then it was Teixeira for Utica. But right now it's the Manny Silva goal going coast to coast after some great passing play at the back end as well from Utica. Found Manny Silva in a 3-on-2, and then no one on Baltimore closed him down, which led to that goal. A little bit of contact after the whistle. Gordy Gerson.
Oh, and this is where it gets a little bit more fire in the bellies of both teams. But in that previous break, Navarrete just went to his guys like, look, guys, let's just calm down. Let's reset. Let's just take a little bit of a chill pill, and let's get back and control this game like we have in the first half. Because at the moment, Utica, this third quarter is like the first quarter so far. Utica just with the upper hand. They're creating more chances. It feels like they just have that little bit extra so far. That Baltimore that they did find in the second quarter, but at the moment, Utica certainly have the upper hand.
This is Wilkin. Coach Everton Morera says he trusts Brian Wilkin in a one-on-one situation, both goalkeeping and with the ball at his feet. So much freedom to move forward for Brian Wilkin. As here's contact, and Jairo Guevara can move away. Galvin Mwape took a little bit of contact. Kyle Genrick will hold on to play. MASLsoccer.com is your home for everything Major Arena Soccer League. All the latest news, leaderboards, highlights, and more. Visit MASLsoccer.com. 8.5 minutes to go in the first. Here's Gordy Gerson, averaging 1 goal a game. 3 games appeared in, 3 goals for the 12-year MASL veteran. Didn't play yesterday. They've been managing an injury for Gerson as a cross-field pass will go to the corner for Baltimore. Gordy Gerson again with contact. There's another card shown. It is a high challenge on Gerson, who will head to the penalty box. And Utica heads to the penalty kill. 2 for 2 in the penalty kill at home. Gave up a power play goal yesterday, 0 for 1 on the road, 2 for 3 on the season.
Yeah, Gerson just left his leg out there. It was a late challenge. I think without a doubt, it was without a doubt a blue card. A big opportunity for Baltimore on the power play.
That'll take us to a timeout. We will step aside right here on MASL TV. UCFC with a lead through Manny Silva. Back at the Adirondack Bank Center as we get set for a Baltimore power play with Gordy Gerson in the penalty box for UCFC. Baltimore will take the power play opportunities, 43% on the man advantage this season for the Blast. Utica 2 for 2 in the penalty kill at home. Here's Mello. Circling back around. Already we're seeing good movement from Baltimore off the ball. Out to Mello again. There's a shot from Guevara. Sliding challenge in from Genrick. And he keeps it a 2-1 game for now.
I mean, what a defensive effort from Genrick there. Again, we said in the first half, he's probably been Utica's best player in this game, and it's just because of that work rate, never giving up on a possession.
Chip to the far post, looking for Juan Pereira. And there's a turnover. Genrick clears it away. It allows Utica to change. Bit of hand fighting after the play as Genrick went to the bench and then he runs right back out. And here's a little bit of a miscue defensively for Utica, but Tavares clears it off the boards. And he will send it the length of the field. 1 minute gone on the power play for Baltimore. Mello. Crossfield pass by the Blast, who looked to climb back into this one after Manny Silva gave Utica the lead. Mello again. Back to the corner, looking for Guevara. It'll fall for Pereira. It's high. Great look for Juan Pereira, and he could not convert.
That was a big chance on the power play for Baltimore. Pereira just leaned back on the shot. He had a bit more time as well. Have to hit that low and hard. Test the goalkeeper. And 30 seconds left on the power play now. A Baltimore team that's ranked #1 for power play percentage this season, tied #1. It's not over yet.
Mello. Crossfield pass. Navarrete is inching forward. It looks like he wants to join, but hasn't been given the all clear from head coach Bascombe just yet. It is Mello again. It is Juan Pereira again. Out the other way. Crossfield pass. Pereira loose for a second, and there's a foul on Juan Alava. Pereira went down. Alava went a little bit high with the tackle. Good win by Pereira, and it gives Baltimore a chance with 2 seconds left in the man advantage.
They just got to play this short to Pereira here. Hit it first time. Put it into traffic, cause a bit of chaos.
Late runner on. It will be Pereira to take it, and it's in! A stunner from Juan Pereira. Direct into the bottom right corner, and it's tied 2-2.
And there was no doubt about that one. Knew he had to get a shot away as quick as he could. And after missing that opportunity just a few seconds ago on the power play, left no doubt about it from the dead ball. The captain just drilled it. It might have taken the slightest deflection off of Alava there, and that just directed it right towards the corner. Pereira even talking to the crowd. It did take the slightest deflection. That left Wilkin blindsided, and just like that, we're back level again.
Howard Miller on the break. There's a defensive clearance and a top-of-the-arc restart for Utica. And you're right, it just caught the sort of like the back thigh, maybe the calf of Alava, and when it was headed straight to Wilkin, deflected to the bottom corner. How unlucky is that for Brian Wilkin? But a chance the other way after the power play goal by Juan Pereira. Keeps the MASL's top power play unit right up there in the standings. Five minutes and 45 seconds to go. Here's Alves on the top of the arc restart. We'll leave it to Amadi. Backheel flick. There's a chance for Gerson. He wants a handball call. We'll keep an eye on that Utica bench to see if Everton Marrero will throw the challenge flag. Hasn't just yet. He'll let play continue. Amadi again. Blocked away by Mello. Head coach Marrera's got the flag out. He's holding it in his hand, and then he leaves it in his back pocket. He'll let play continue.
I think it was just too close proximity to even consider a handball, even if it did ricochet off the arm of the Baltimore defender.
Amadi from distance has it blocked. He'll get it right back. Push off a defender. Into Tavares on the swivel. It's high. Excuse me, that was Gio Alves at the top of the box. Now from the corner spot, Alves will set things up again. Rotation by Amadi and Panol. Panol, one-time shot, deflects high into the air. He'll head it down. Amadi, flipped over. Gerson! It is class. It is veteran leadership. And it is Gordy Gerson in his 12th year of MASL soccer, still delivering for Utica.
I mean, that was beautiful. Absolutely wonderful soccer from Utica City. Amadi did ever so well to set it up. It was a little bit chaotic, but I mean, the volley is absolutely perfect from Gerson. Had to get it right, got the contact with the left foot. And what a way to put Utica City back in front.
Scored a volley just like that in the season opener against Kansas City. And it is Gordy Gerson in his 4th game of the season with his 4th goal of the season to put Utica up 3-2.
And now the defense has to be on point because once again, Utica City, they've given up the lead twice already in this game. Have to stay strong.
With pressure. On the back end, Howard Miller on the breakaway. Ran into a wall of Baltimore Red. The Blasts are never out of a game. Here's Nascimento down to Williams. He's been a thorn in Utica's side all season long. And Wilkin picks up the play. Man, what a goal by Gerson. Still thinking about that finish. Has to time it perfectly, and that's exactly what he did. And now Shalier back to goal. And a 6'4" Cuban will play it off the boards. Tyson Santos went down. Whistle blows. It is a call for Utica City FC. The MASL is brought to you by Capelli Sport, the official and exclusive preferred uniform and apparel provider of the Major Arena Soccer League. Visit MASLsoccer.com to shop the all-new MASL fan store for the latest MASL and team gear. 4 minutes to go. Gerson, the go-ahead goal for Utica City FC. And what a goal it was on the volley after the flick ahead by Mershad Amadi. Shalier using that lanky frame to win it back for Utica. Spur looking for Genrich in the middle. Just a step behind the ball, and now the break is on for Baltimore. Amadi battling. Good outlet pass to Welly Bramoose. A little bit of a scramble in the corner. And good outlet and a chance to break. Spur again. He will just hang on to possession with Shalier. A little bit of a 2-on-2. Baltimore sagging behind defensively. And Shalier's shot is deflected. Gerson battling, and Navarrete does well to collect through chaos.
Utica City doing a lot better against the boards in this second half. Both teams, I think, were struggling to really get to win it in those wide areas against the boards.
Here is Chavez, and again another foul called on Utica. Manny Silva can't believe it. Giving some extra words to Alejandro Chavez, who's down on the floor. I think that's not a bad call there. Back to Silva, and Silva extends the hand a little bit. Don't mind the foul given to Baltimore there.
I think it definitely is a foul. It's not the worst position either.
So what can Marco Nascimento and company cook up here? Wape will fire. It's up into the air by Wilkin. Rolled out wide. Frater will go again, and it's high into the netting. Calling all artists. Head to maslsoccer.com to take part in the first ever MASL coloring contest. 3 winners will receive a $100 gift certificate to Capelli Sport. Don't delay. Submissions due February 1st, 2026. So Baltimore, a little bit of life offensively, but still just a 1-goal game. Utica searching for that first regulation win of the season, and what a crucial 3 points it would be after faltering yesterday. Because it's not just about the 3 points that Utica gains, it's about the 3 points that they've stopped Baltimore from getting. Should UCFC pull away with this one in regulation? There's a foul called on Utica City FC. New for 2026, staff writer Joseph Reyna and veteran coach Mark Litton explain the game with perspectives from both sides in MASL's newest show, Soccer Signal. In-depth data analysis, breakdowns, and exclusive interviews from coaches and around the league. Don't miss Soccer Signal every other Thursday on MASL TV. Action right away as Brian Wilkin makes a save. Chavez. Good step away from pressure, and his shot just high. I mean, Chavez has done so excellent today in getting space and moving away from defense. He just doesn't have that finish that he had yesterday.
Yeah, so it's a couple times now that Baltimore, the shot, they get the space and they have I think enough time to really pick their spot, and it's gone over. It's just gone right over the goal. Chavez though is one of those players that the ball's it's just stuck to his feet. He keeps it so close. Has brilliant dribbling ability, and he's found the space as well. Utica haven't closed him down very well in this game, and you know he's someone to look out for at the end of this quarter, and especially as we go into the fourth.
Chavez, who's been in the MASL since 2021 with Harrisburg, but he didn't play in 23-24 or last season. Before that, played MASL 2, so been around the league for a while. This one laid to Amadi, and it's just wide. That's his favorite spot, and you could see it on his reaction immediately, the head and the hands. Because if there's one spot that Mershad Amadi wants to shoot from, it is right outside the arc with his left foot.
Yeah, what a chance on his left side. It just needs to pick that into the corner, wrap his foot around it a little bit, and just open his body up a little bit too much. What a chance.
Shatlier stumbling around a little bit. Tyson Santos will play back up to Shatlier, back to goal for the Cuban. And now he has some space out wide. Maybe a pass, maybe a shot. Alava was there at the back post, but didn't react in time. High press from Utica, and it's won back by the home team. Ball sort of ping-ponging around. And Utica will hold. Kyle Genrich takes a shove in the back from Kevon Frater and wins a free kick for UCFC.
And you can see just how important that counter press is for Utica, even when they lose it inside the Baltimore half. 4 guys just surround the ball quickly.
Gerson, the header off the boards to Navarrete with 5 seconds to go in the third quarter. Navarrete hangs on for a second too long, and that'll take us as there's contact and immediately a blue card after the whistle, and the team there to defend as Kyle Genrich took an elbow right to the face. Players getting involved as Kyle Genrich gets up and edges the crowd on. You never just get a normal game with these two teams. Kevon Frater, after the buzzer sounded to signal the end of the third quarter, he's headed to the penalty box. And a big momentum swing here at the end of the third quarter. Jonatas Mello will speak with the referees, but that'll do it for the third period of action. 15 minutes to go from the Adirondack Bank Center on Martin Luther King Jr. Day. You're watching MASL Soccer on MASL TV.
At Aquavino, every meal is a moment, whether it's date night, a quick lunch, or celebrating a special event. Enjoy Italian-American favorites. Aquavino Restaurant, growing our family one plate at a time.
What's your story? What moments make life an adventure? Community is where memories happen. At Bank of Utica, enriching our community for current and future generations has been part of our mission since 1927. By supporting local, community-focused organizations, we work together to open doors to education, the arts, and meaningful career paths. Making stories to remember. Bank with Utica.
At Rome Health, we bring the best orthopedic and sports medicine care right to your neighborhood. Our experienced team includes orthopedic surgeons, sports medicine specialists, and physical therapists working together to get you back to the things that you love to do. So whether you need an injection for arthritis pain, rotator cuff surgery, a joint replacement, or help recovering from a concussion, we're committed to delivering superior care to you. Rome Health, the best orthopedic care out there, here.
What a save! What a save! What a save! And now it's your turn to save here at Master Vito Hyundai on Commercial Drive in Yorkville or online anytime at mastervitohyundai.com. Make your move to Master Vito Hyundai.
Babe's Restaurant and Bar believes great food brings people together. From comfort classics to crowd favorites, there's something for everyone. Open daily for lunch and dinner, plus brunch on the weekends. Come home to Babe's.
Welcome back inside the Adirondack Bank Center as we get set for fourth quarter action between Utica City FC and the Baltimore Blast. We ended the third quarter with a little incident that happened between Kevon Frater and Kyle Genrich. There was a blue card assessed to Frater at the end of it. I mean, you know, we expect physicality. We expect these teams to really not like each other, but something that head coach Everton Moreira said, he doesn't mind the intensity, he doesn't mind the physicality, he doesn't like it when his team plays dirty. Here's the incident right there. I mean, Frater just swings the elbow around and catches Genrich in the face, and immediately the Utica bench comes out to defend one of their young stars.
Yeah, Gerson was out right away and got really hyped up. Mello was in there talking to the referee to understand the situation, but it makes things really interesting now.
There is a flag thrown by head coach David Bascom, and this is something interesting, I think, from this play, because the MASL rules state that when there is an altercation on the field of play, the players from the bench cannot come out and get involved. And I think that might be what head coach Bascom is looking at in terms of, I think it's pretty obviously a blue card on Frater, but is there, you know, something that came from the Utica City players leaving the bench and getting involved? I think that's exactly what they're looking at.
I agree. I think in a lot of ways as well, it'd be really interesting to see what we're going to look at here, because from the replay, I think the blue card is obvious. It's a little, the arm out from Frater was just a little bit reckless. And yeah, it'll be interesting.
Here's what the head refereeing crew will say.
On the money.
That is exactly what they will be challenging for, is that potential cards for leaving the bench to join an altercation. We'll take a look through the rules of the game, because that's right. I mean, very clearly more than 6 players on the field for Utica. There are players leaving the bench. The question is it enough to garner a blue card, as you have all those players on the field, and what comes of it as everyone just getting out there trying to defend Genrich in the run of play.
Yeah, and you could even see the Utica City coaching staff waving the players back onto the field. Don't want to be judge and jury here, but I would be inclined to say that there could be a blue card here to cancel out the one for Baltimore here against Utica, just because all of a sudden, like Gerson, he was out from the bench very quickly. He wasn't on the field at the time. It was very quick.
So that incident is what they're looking at as to how many players.
I mean, I'm counting 8 Utica City players on the field right now. 9, 10 even.
There is, looks at bench warnings as well. Referees can give a bench warning that won't give a power play, but can make an effect in potential yellow cards if they get a second bench warning. But again, I think, leaving off, there is, a sending off with power play rule. If you go all the way down for the first man off the bench joining an altercation, I think the key word here is joining. So here's what we're going to hear from the refereeing crew. Taking an extra second of deliberation before they grab the mic, but really just want to hear what the decision is here in full.
After review, Utica's number 14 has a 5-minute not play miscount for leaving the bench, physically engaging in the altercation.
So it's exactly how we thought it would be. It would be a bench altercation, for leaving the bench but not joining the altercation. Andrew Taylor, the backup goalkeeper for today's matchup after Xavier Snare-Williams was hurt yesterday. From Baldwinsville, New York, just north of Syracuse, an hour away from here in Utica. He's heading to the bench, and conversations with the refereeing staff continue. And again, yeah, especially as the backup keeper, you've got something that you're not involved in the run of play, you're not subbing in and out of the bench, and now
but I'm just interested. I don't remember even seeing Taylor come onto the field. I'd be interested to see what the decision is overall.
There might be another announcement here.
Correction, it was number 4 on Utica.
So it is number 4 on Utica. That's Stefan Teixeira. That's one that I believe we did see. First player off, leaving the bench, but not joining the altercation. Because there wasn't an altercation between the two players. It was just Genrich and Frater. The incident, the referee's doing a great job of managing the two teams away from each other, because we know, seeing how it was yesterday between these two sides, the referees for today, Austin Saney and Ryan Trombetta, good to hear from them about what I believe is a correct decision. Teixeira to the bench with a yellow card. It is still a power play for Utica City FC.
And I think that's huge for Utica City. I mean, it is very risky to join the altercation. Like, for example, Gerson, I mean, he was the one I saw first that came onto the field. So, as we play on.
Power play for Utica for 2 minutes. A 3-2 lead. Gerson, the go-ahead goal on the volley. As we kick off the fourth quarter. Alves down low, across the face of goal. Shalier will collect. I mean, that took about 5 minutes of time to get the review underway, and now we're finally underway in the fourth quarter. As Tyson Santos will go down low. Spur, Shalier, now Pinal. Spur. Alves down to the corner, across, and saved by Navarrete. I think he got a piece of it. He is the sole reason that Baltimore is still in this game. Some great saves, and that one just high from Shalier. Tyson Santos. Spur. Shalier with a minute gone on the man advantage. Pinal, saved by Navarrete. High press from Utica. Alves wins it back. Pinal lost out on it. Surprised we haven't seen Brian Wilkin edge a little bit forward. We know he likes to shoot the ball from distance for this Utica side.
Gives an extra number as well.
Instead, here's Spur. Shalier. Spur again. Pinal. Spur, this pass a bit short by Pinal, but he'll win it back. 23 seconds. Still just a couple of looks at goal. There's a fake shot. Pinal will go again. Save. Rebound just high by Shalier. Had to react to the ball. It came high and did his best. I mean, he's got a lot of leg area that he can hit the ball with.
Alves here on the near side was really frustrated. Arms were up in the air. He was just sitting there waiting for a ball to come in, for him to hit first time.
If you're looking for first-time finishers on this Utica team, you look at a player like Gordy Gerson. Gio Alves might be the second best one that Utica has to offer. A couple of power play goals as Shalier goes tumbling down. And the power play's over. Shalier takes down his man. It's a foul.
Oh.
And it is a blue card shown to Shalier. Right away after a Utica power play expires, Baltimore might be headed on one, and immediately the challenge flag comes out for head coach Everton Moreira. He says it's a normal foul. We'll see what happened.
Yeah, I'd imagine that it was, I think a blue card is a little bit harsh here.
We'll get a listen to what the referees will announce here, and maybe, you know, even if it is a normal foul, if it's stopping a promising attack, that's something that's blue card worthy to review. Here's the announcement.
Utica's challenge correctly given blue card.
And right on cue, it's that incorrectly given blue card they're looking at for Shalier. I mean, here's what happened. It's a run of play. He's not the last man back at all. And the little stab of the foot is what they'll be looking at. Did step on the foot.
It's definitely a foul, without a doubt. The argument I think for Utica is that you have two guys back defensively, and Alves is there as well, running back straight away. Is it enough to overturn the decision, though? That's the other question.
You have to have clear video evidence of it not being a blue card offense. I mean, right there in the frame, you see Toy Tavares, you see Gio Alves hustling back, and we'll get the announcement here.
After review, the call on the field of blue card has been overturned.
And Utica celebrates. It's an overturn.
Utica number 99.
So Barbaro Shalier avoids a blue card. Both teams with successful challenge flags thrown in the early goings of the fourth quarter. They both have the challenges available for second use.
A huge decision in the context of the game as well. A power play for Baltimore at this point would have been massive. Coach Bascom looking for an explanation here. I think overall it was the overturning of the decision is the correct one. Just there were too many Utica defenders that were ready to get in the way. Overall, I think that's a fair enough decision.
So feels like we've been in the fourth quarter for about 30 minutes. There's only 2 minutes gone off the clock. And Utica avoids a penalty kill situation. We're back to even strength soccer inside the Adirondack Bank Center. Austin Saney, Ryan Trombetta with a busy fourth quarter. Back underway after 2 video reviews, both successful. As now here's a break. Toy Tavares, 3-on-3 for Utica. Tavares stumbling to his left. will fire just away, and Howard Miller just sat under the rebound opportunity, and now a breakaway the other way, and there's a shove into the boards. That one's a blue card for Howard Miller, and I don't think there's any question about that one.
Yeah.
The aggressive extension of, I believe it was the right arm, through the back and into the boards. It is a boarding call on Howard Miller. He's shaking his head.
I don't think there's any doubt on that one.
Yeah, no.
It was, even if it was the slightest hand in the back, at that they were both players going at such a speed. No doubt about it. I think it's more than a fair blue card, and we can even see that there's no challenge flag coming either for Utica.
Yeah, I think Everton Moreira, you could hear it. Welly Ramus making contact, and now it actually does come out. I mean, might as well if it's important enough for Utica. I think there's a shove in the back. Maybe not the most malicious shove in the back, but with, like you mentioned, Nicholas, the speed that both of those players were going at and the proximity to the boards, I believe there's a pretty fair case for that to be a blue card on Howard Miller Jr.
I agree. And in a lot of ways, it's... we'll see what the referee says here.
How about that? We said it was 2 announcements, and they'd been busy. How about a third? So it is challenging the card, and again, we're 2.5 minutes down in a 15-minute fourth quarter, and we've had 3 video reviews. One successful for Baltimore because originally there wasn't a yellow card shown to Teixeira. Then Utica gets a blue card rescinded, and there's Howard Miller.
I think the one aspect of this is that Ramus has both of his hands on the boards.
It's a quick review.
Yeah, I don't think this will be long.
After review, the call on the field for blue card, boarding has been upheld. Utica has no more challenges.
Great explanation by the refereeing crew, Austin Saney and Ryan Trombetta. And once again, I don't think there's any question about that one. Of course, Utica City fans won't like it. We're here in the Adirondack Bank Center, so you'll hear the chorus of boos, but with the speed both of those players were going at, and even though it was the slightest push into the boards, it's still a push into the boards that's dangerous.
Exactly, and I think at the end of the day, it happened in the first half. We saw it. It was in favor of Utica on that occasion. You know, I think there was no doubt that was a blue card.
A late challenge flag thrown by Everton Moreira means that Utica City has no more challenges in this game. Baltimore will keep theirs because they got a decision overturned and got Teixeira into the penalty box with that yellow card. And now here's a power play for Baltimore. Rolled out wide, blocked away by UCFC. Baltimore was successful on the last power play they had, but it was because of a set play goal. Free kick was launched. It took a deflection off Juan Alava into the net with in the final 2 seconds of the power play. An unfortunate mark on a pretty solid Utica City penalty kill unit, especially at home. 30 seconds gone on the man advantage for Baltimore. There's a shot just high and out of play. Wilkin did not get a touch on it, so it's possession to UCFC.
The defense still been really good from Utica today. I think so many positives to take from what was just a poor defensive showing yesterday.
There's the 3-line violation on Utica City FC. Free kick was behind the yellow line and it crossed the other yellow line before it hit a player.
That was a little bit, I think, of a careless mistake, really, because now that puts Baltimore in a perfect position now, just right in front of the net to get a shot away, and we've seen how good they've been from the dead ball already today. Especially
and this whole season, excellent on set play. Chavez just wide. Genrick gets it away. Sliding challenge in from Utica. And now numbers ahead for Baltimore, who slow things down with a minute to go on the advantage. Pressure, and it's out to Chavez. We know what he can do with the ball at his feet. He'll play down low. Back up top. Mello rolls it out wide. Chavez off the boards. Rebound on the bicycle kick is up into the netting for Baltimore. Get the latest news on the MASL and your favorite teams by following MASL Soccer on Facebook and Instagram and MASL Arena on Twitter. You can also subscribe to MASL TV on YouTube. Header the other way as Baltimore has 40 seconds on the power play. Mello. 30 seconds of power play soccer left for the Blast. After the Howard Miller boarding call, Wilkin was frozen there. I think that ball, he didn't have a sight line on it until it was way too late. Pinal, maybe a breakaway here. Short-handed opportunity. Shalier, here's Pinal, all alone, he scores! It is the second short-handed goal of the season for Utica City FC, who take a 4-2 lead on the Baltimore power play.
Pinal, cool as ice. The counter-attack was smooth, the pass was great, and he just took his time. That's why he's the current points leader per game in MASL. New just took that little bit of a ball roll. It shows that experience, the quality, and the finish was on point. And the biggest lead of the night for Utica comes at a great time with just under 11 to go in the game. And Pinal continues to show his talent.
Junior Pinal, not a player known to celebrate. In fact, high-fiving the fans in the Miller Lite Beer Garden is probably the most celebration we will ever get out of Junior Pinal. Still 4 seconds on the power play. And Brian Wilkin will hold on and immediately throw it long. Howard Miller fresh out of the penalty box. And Toy Tavares will bring it down. Tavares on the volley is high. And immediately out of the penalty box, Howard Miller back into action.
And Navarrete had to get that right. Long ball over the top, and Navarrete, of course, can't do anything with his hands there. Had to get his head on it. Did very well. There is a bit of an uphill battle now for Baltimore, but you can never count them out.
Navarrete off the boards. Rebound corralled by Pinal, who's double-teamed. Willie Spur takes it away. Hits the referee. Possession stays with Utica, so they'll keep play going. Pinal will take it from distance, so you don't mind the shot from Junior Pinal. Not known for the shot power, but is always inaccurate leg. A little bit of contact behind the play. Wanalava can move forward. And now the whistle blows. And they have to bring the trainers out for the Baltimore side. Trainer Heather Kolbus for the Baltimore Blast. There was a little bit of a hand fighting behind the play. Nothing to deem a foul for Wanalava.
No, it was going both ways, I think, and it's physical, especially at this point in the game. Baltimore surely will feel frustrated that they gave up that goal shorthanded goal as well.
Catch MASL Monday, every Monday night on MASL TV and in CBS Sports Galazzo Network. Alex Bastavansky and Phil Levanko are joined each week by special guests from across the league to discuss the league's hot topics and recap all the weekend's games. And also another show you can catch on MASL TV is if you disagree with any call tonight, which I'm sure we've had a fair few, especially between yesterday and today, that you will see on the MASL's most controversial show, Under Review with Phil Levanko and MASL head referee Ryan Sigich. Catch it every Friday on YouTube. I mean, you could make a whole episode with just incidents from these last two games between Baltimore and Utica City.
You could do a whole segment on just the first 5.5 minutes of this quarter. I think there's been some really big decisions. I think the refereeing crew have done an excellent job tonight. Every decision has been the right one, and they've done a really good job at just controlling a game that could have easily gotten out of hand. That these two teams that not just historically have really been fighting tooth and nail. It's important in the league standings, as a Utica team that's still searching to just get more points on the board, but a Baltimore team that started the season really well. They went through a little bit of a rough patch, got that win last night, and they're looking to just build off of that. But Utica they're a team that's still in the ascendancy, still growing and building, and will certainly get better as well as we get towards the end of the season. And it's going to go right. This MASL season is going to go right down to the wire, especially in the regular season. It's going to be a fantastic playoffs as well. So many just great teams that are fighting week in, week out. I don't think the quality of the league has been this good in a really long time, and it's so exciting to see.
A league that was trimmed down to 8 teams, and it feels like every single one of these 8 teams can beat another one of the 8 teams all season long. We've seen teams come back. I mean, Utica came back from down 6-1 against Milwaukee to pull off a victory in overtime. There, Utica beats Baltimore in Baltimore, which is something that hasn't happened in a long time for UCFC. I mean, this season series last year was dominated by the Blast. I believe it was 5-1 in favor of Baltimore. And yet this season, every single game has been competitive. Even a game like yesterday where Baltimore led by 5-7 goals at a time. A lot of importance for Utica in that second half to come back and make it an interesting game.
Absolutely, and I think overall you got teams like Kansas City, Milwaukee, Tacoma, Empire. These are all teams that have really done a fantastic job.
Welcome back inside the Adirondack Bank Center, a somber scene as Nico Williams is carried off by his teammates and the Blast staff. I mean, just a bad incident. It wasn't even malicious from Utica City. An extra step by Alava that may have caught the ankle of Williams is what we saw sort of in the replays during that break. And just heartbreak because Nico Williams is a player that is a thorn in Utica's side. Every single time Williams has played against Utica, he's been excellent. 3 goals this season, all for the Blast against this Utica team. And of course, we up here wish him the best. What a heartbreaking moment there for Williams, who's been so good against Utica for Baltimore.
Absolutely, and I think it looked like maybe his foot even got. It's always so compact, especially against the boards. And unfortunately it can happen. We wish him all the best. And he was excellent today and such a key contributor for Baltimore throughout the season. And we'll see what Baltimore can do.
There's a shout for a foul immediately after the restart. And Utica still had the challenge flag as there's now a whistle and a foul awarded the other way. I think Willie Spurry, he got the ball, but it's the follow-through. I think his leg kicked up a little high.
Slightly. Obviously, now Utica can't challenge. They lost their challenge flag earlier in the quarter now, so no matter what, we keep playing.
It's going to be a little difficult to regain that energy that we've had in this rivalry matchup because of, especially for Baltimore, what just happened to Nico Williams. You have to not forget about it, but also realize that there is still 9 minutes left. The Baltimore Blast trail by 2, and somehow, some way, you've got to pick up that energy. Maybe even play for a teammate who's down and out of this game. Amadi, good pressure, 3-on-1 if Utica hurries, 3-on-2 now. Out to Amadi. Turning around and turned it over. Stevens will win it back for UCFC all the way back to Wilkin, who's got pressure and will lay it off to Cole Stevens. Stevens signed from Milwaukee a couple of seasons ago. Versatile player, has played up top, can play as a defender for Utica, especially when a team is missing some key contributors like Logan Roberts and Nilton De Andrade. A player like Stevens is crucial to have in the back pocket. Worked across, here's Juan Pereira. Back to Pereira again. Under 8 minutes to go and a 2-goal lead for Utica City.
Don't be surprised if Utica just sit back that little bit more now and just absorb the pressure as much as possible. That 2-goal cushion has really just changed the dynamics of the game a little bit, and that break as well, just opportunity for a few tactical changes for Utica.
Special teams goals for Pinal. He scored shorthanded most recently, but he also scored on the power play for the first goal of the game. Here's Gerson across to Tavares, but can't maintain possession with a backheel flick instead. Baltimore take it the other way with Jonatas Mello.
Yeah, Mello did very well there. Just got himself in the right position, won the ball back easily, read Tavares really well there.
Still with Baltimore, 7 minutes to go. Baltimore may be a bit wary about going to the extra attacker just yet, as there's a foul on Cole Stevens. Because you have someone who's so good at the ball at his feet in George Navarrete. You can just move him up, and as long as he's willing to hustle back there and make the saves, I don't think it's a bad idea to have him sort of play as an extra attacker rather than the extra attacker jersey.
And at this point in the game, you don't really have anything to lose. It's worth having that extra player, an extra player to just cycle and create space.
Here's a chance on the volley, and it's comfortable for Wilkin. He can throw it into the net if he's got the arm, but this one headed more to the corner for Gerson. Across to Navarrete.
I was in the right position, though. Wilkin put it right where the ball really needs to go to just alleviate some of the pressure, but Baltimore did well to just win the ball back.
Chavez will reset. It's a Baltimore team that is filled with players who can create space. I think that's the story of these final 6.5 minutes. How much space can Baltimore create when Utica sit back and defend?
Just cannot give players like Chavez, like Mello or Pereira, just that, don't give them any wiggle room.
Here's Frater, back to goal, little backheel flick. And it's read well by Utica. Break is on for UCFC. This is Miller, and he fires into the netting. May have been pushed down in the act of shooting, but he got the shot off, so no foul called. And Utica will change.
Utica, I think, are happy with the way that the last few minutes have gone. They're happy just to sit back, like I said, and get those opportunities on the counterattack when you get them, especially when you know you can create on the counter.
George Navarrete may be caught out here. Pinal tried the long-distance shot. He's on hat-trick watch with 2 goals today. He's got a power play goal and a shorthanded goal. Just needs an even strength goal to round out the tally.
Patrick Thompson did really well to win the ball back for Baltimore there. He went to grab his ankle there. Hopefully didn't get hurt in that defensive effort.
Back to Tyson Santos, 5.5 minutes to go. And really, fully, we expect Utica to just possess as much as possible and then play it down to the corner, and right on cue. Tyson Santos goes to the corner. Navarrete caught between 2 minds there, I think, as he stepped out, and now he goes down. That's a late slide from Pinal, and it is a whistle. George Navarrete's down holding the ankle. And here comes the challenge flag from head coach David Bascombe. And again, I don't mind that. You know, late slide in. Pinal left his feet. Navarrete caught the worst of it. And it looks like Bascombe wants that to be reviewed.
I think it looked a bit uglier than it really was, but at the same time, I think at this point in the game, though, you do not want to give up any power play opportunities.
Baltimore's challenging.
Didn't hear the full sentence there from the referees, but Baltimore's challenging for a blue card. And right on cue there, just that little catch at the end of the slide tackle is what they'll be looking at. Is it malicious enough?
I think at the end of the day, you don't want to put yourself in a position that even gives the referees a discussion, you know. And like Pinal, they did the right soccer play, but at the same time, it's just a little bit risky, especially 2 goals ahead with just over 5 minutes left. A chance for a first win in regulation.
I think they're looking at the control of the slide. It looked like he controlled the slide all the way through. So we'll see what the decision is here.
After review, the call on the field is simple foul, stands as called. Baltimore has no more challenges.
Ooh. Call on the field stands as called. And looking at it at first, you were right on with it. It looked ugly from up here. But you look at the replay, and even in real time, you see that Pinal slides, and then he keeps his foot down. He doesn't go with the bottom of the sole up, and that's what leads to the simple foul rather than the blue card.
Yeah, and it was just after the fact. And I think it's also not enough for the referees to overturn the decision. So we just play on, and it's contact sport at the end of the day.
It is intense, and especially so when you have the only 2 East Coast teams going head-to-head in the Baltimore Blast and Utica City FC. Wilkin keeps it in the box. Thought about the long throw. Of course, a little bit easier when you look at the field last night, a bit shorter to make those longer throws when goalkeepers are allowed to go the length of the field. Here's Gerson on the volley. Opportunity, and it's pushed away by George Navarrete.
Wilkin used the board to make that diagonal switch. That was really impressive.
Break may be on for Baltimore, who need to push ahead with numbers. And foul called on Willie Spur. And seeing some emotion out of Willie Spur. Not very often you see him break out into conversation with the refereeing crew.
Yeah, we've seen it a couple times, and now we're seeing an empty net now for Baltimore.
Extra attacker. It is Jonatas Mello in the pink jersey. Net is empty for Baltimore. Juan Pereira. Kevon Frater off a hat trick yesterday. Here's Mello again. Pereira, who's got a goal today. Nico Williams is injured. He has the other. Went down holding that leg. Pereira. Backheel flick, maintains possession to Mello. Back up to Mello again. 4 minutes to go. Can Baltimore conjure up something as that one touched wide? Welly looked for the rebound, and this one sent the length of the floor. Barbaro Chalier ran off, sprinting and throwing his hands up in the air. I don't know what he was unhappy about. I mean, it was a great defensive stand. Maybe he wanted the breakout pass with an empty net, but didn't get it. Emotions always run high in this game. Welly, great move. And Bramuse runs into the refereeing crew in the corner, and Bramuse is down still. Net is empty. Alava missed wide. It'll go off the boards. Mello can grab it. Whistle for a foul, and Mello tried to go quickly. Instead, referees will have to spot the ball for a foul on Mello, who's the acting goalkeeper now with that extra jersey.
3 minutes now. Baltimore just have to showcase their ability to just find that pass in between the lines. Playing it quickly, quick one-touch soccer that we've seen them do. We saw a lot of it in the first half. Haven't seen as much of it in the second.
Guevara, 50-50 challenge, and both players a little bit worse, and Tyson Santos goes down behind the play, holding that ankle. It looked like he caught the worst of it. Guevara's also limping. Both players just came up worse out of a 50-50 ball.
Yeah, they both went, both legs were out. Be interesting to see if he's back to his feet, because if it's anything more than just a, you know, maybe just a little bit of a twist, you know, that is of more concern.
Tyson Santos, who's been excellent for Utica in his first season of MASL 1 soccer. He played a little bit of MASL 2 last year with Kreisnick, the M2 affiliate of Utica City. Through the season, 7 goals played, 2 goals, 5 assists. He had a great assist in his one of his first games of MASL play to Gordy Gerson against Kansas City. And right now he's on the ground for Utica City FC. 2:43 to go. Jonatas Mello, the extra attacker jersey, I think is the right move here for Baltimore, Nick. With under 3 minutes, you're pushing for a 2-goal comeback, and you just get so much offensive production with Mello.
Yeah, you do, and he's just perfect at just surveying the field and finding that extra opportunity. You know, he's already got 9 assists on the season, 11 goals. You know, other than Omar Silla, he is the best contributor, facilitator for this Baltimore team. I think it's the only decision at this point of the game. You know, nothing to really lose, and when getting that extra attacking player. So I think it's going to be a fascinating final 2:43.
So everything to look forward to. 3 minutes to go. There's a look at George Navarrete in goal. I mean, great outing from him. Only 4 goals allowed. 1 on the power play, 1 shorthanded. In his first start of the season. It is one to remember for George Navarrete, who played with Harrisburg last year, Athletic Orlando of M2 the year before. Here's Mello. Bramuse. Pereira to Mello again. And there's a shot high into the netting from Pereira. We know he's got a shot like that in his locker, but just got behind that one and tilted the body back a little bit.
Rushed it. Didn't need to either. I think just, once again, it has to be the low and hard shots. That's where we've seen Baltimore just look more dangerous on their shot attempts when it's hit low and with pace. More side-footed shots, too, I think. Too many times Baltimore have had shots that have just leaning back and it just goes over the bar.
Alava will play it past the halfway line. Cole Stevens called for the foul at center field. And right away, Baltimore will get Jonatas Mello back on the field for George Navarrete. And you're going to see Utica drop into the sort of house defending. If you watch new MASL show Soccer Signal, you'll see a lot and learn a lot about how to defend in an extra attacker scenario. 1 player at the top of the roof, and then you've got that box 4 surrounding the goalkeeper. Very flexible formation. It can shift into sort of 3 at the front, 2 at the back as well. There's a shot just wide. Wilkin dove out for that one and missed it. Back up top to Mello. Across and again, Wilkin. This time he makes the save.
Great stop. That was going in the top corner. Wilkin through traffic as well. Did well.
Mello, 75 seconds to go. Back up to Mello, extra attacker. As you get a look at the replay, as there's another shot wide. Welly Bramuse, left in front, took a deflection, and held on to by Wilkin. Final minute of play in the game. Utica, 60 seconds from the first regulation win of the season, and Brian Wilkin will call a timeout. And I don't mind it. Ease some of the pressure, and the crowd get back into it with 54 seconds to play.
Exactly what Utica needed. They withstood that last minute and a half. And for Baltimore, a goal has to come very, very soon now to set up the finish. But if Utica do go on to get all 3 points today, it is very much deserved. They've defended brilliantly. I think best defensive performance of the season for Utica so far. While Baltimore haven't really showcased their attacking prowess that we've seen in recent weeks. You know, I think you got to give Utica the credit that they stood strong, and even when things didn't go their way, Utica just stayed calm, stayed composed, which you couldn't say that every game this season for Utica. And even when Baltimore came back multiple times in this game, and Utica didn't let their heads drop, and I think they've done a fantastic job today.
2 goals for Pinal, including a shorthanded goal and a power play goal, as well as a strike from Gordy Gerson and a strike from Minnie Silva. The 4 for UCFC. Baltimore got a goal from Nico Williams, who went down at the stages in the second half and had to be carried off the field, of course. Sending our best wishes to Nico Williams for a speedy recovery. He got the first goal for Baltimore, and then another score came on a dead ball play for Juan Pereira. And right now, Brian Wilkin with a minute to go. Listen, Utica's been here before in that opening game against Kansas City. Had a lead in the final 2 minutes, a 2-goal lead at that, and gave it up. Got to hold on now for all 3 points. Wilkin will go the length of the floor. It's kept in perfectly by Pinal. And now a chance to break for Utica. Holding on to the ball in the corner. Tavares through traffic. Whistle blows for a foul on Toy Tavares. A delay of game warning issued to Kyle Genrick in Utica. He kept on playing after the whistle. But not a bad one. If you don't have one throughout the game, it's not the worst time to take it. It allows Utica to get back and set up in the defensive structure. 35 seconds to go, a 2-goal lead. Baltimore, extra attackers, Jonatas Mello, he's on it now. 26 seconds for Pereira. Far corner again. Chavez played back to Mello, he's got to hurry. 20 seconds for Baltimore. Pereira, you need a shot? Mello, he will shoot, and it's blocked in front. Kyle Genrick there again. And it's cleared up into the sky. Brought down by Alves. And 4 seconds will tick off the clock. Whistle blows with 0.1. Utica can't celebrate just yet, but it will be the first regulation victory of the season for Utica City FC. They wait to get Tavares back in set. Juan Pereira is going to argue his case that there should be at least one more play. And here's the call. It is the end of the match. Utica victorious in regulation for the first time this season. It took everything out of the home side. 2 goals for Junior Pinal. Gordy Gerson on the score sheet with a volley. And Manny Silva, a coast-to-coast finish to give Utica the victory. There's still some fireworks after the game. Howard Miller, Juan Pereira involved. Kyle Genrick there as well. And I mean, it is always tense. It is always a close battle. And Juan Pereira is still irate at the end of the game.
You know what? That's the passion that shows this fixture. And Pereira, who did a fantastic job today, got that second goal to level it up for Baltimore, but in the end the Blast just didn't have the mustard to get back on level terms again. Utica came out with the win, a much needed win, and that puts them back in the hunt in MASL.
A crucial 3 points for Utica City FC as a couple of the Utica players pay a visit down to Nico Williams, who's on the bench for Baltimore. Good show of sportsmanship for two teams that do not like each other. At the end of the day, you know, everyone deserves to be healthy, and that's what Gordy Gerson and a few of the other Utica City players are going down to have a conversation with Nico Williams. This game had everything from injuries to cards to goals, and we'll send it down to Michael Lear, who's down with Gordy Gerson, averaging a goal a game. Here's Gordy and Michael.
In the words of Gordy Gerson, I'm going to eat some pizza. Gordy, you are the Manja Macrina man of the match. What do you think of your team's effort after coming back from Baltimore last night?
I mean, it's not easy after going down into Baltimore and taking a loss, but this is what we're about, bouncing back the next day. We had the opportunity. Luckily, it was against Baltimore, and we remembered yesterday, and now that we had our fans behind our back, it was a no-brainer that we were going to take this one.
What worked today offensively? You guys put 4 together, and you needed just 4 to win this thing.
I mean, we're working as a team defensively, and we're keeping guys under 4 goals every game. Then we're going to score 4 and get results.
What do you guys need to do to keep this thing rolling? What's the next task this week?
Eat more pizza.
Eat more Manja Macrinas. All right, watch this. Pop it open. It's got a bib on the box for you. Look at that. Look at that. Come on. I got a slice with you. I mean, best part of my job right now.
There's Michael and Gordy
What do you think?
saying goodbye from the Adirondack Bank Center as they enjoy some of their post-game pizza.
It's rude that they didn't want to come up and share.
At Aquavino, every meal is a moment, whether it's date night, a quick lunch, or celebrating a special event. Enjoy Italian-American favorites. Aquavino Restaurant, growing our family one plate at a time.
What's your story? What moments make life an adventure? Community is where memories happen. At Bank of Utica, enriching our community for current and future generations has been part of our mission since 1927. By supporting local, community-focused organizations, we work together to open doors to education, the arts, and meaningful career paths. Making stories to remember. Bank with Utica.
At Rome Health, we bring the best orthopedic and sports medicine care right to your neighborhood. Our experienced team includes orthopedic surgeons, sports medicine specialists, and physical therapists working together to get you back to the things that you love to do. So whether you need an injection for arthritis pain, rotator cuff surgery, a joint replacement, or help recovering from a concussion, we're committed to delivering superior care to you. Rome Health, the best orthopedic care out there, here.
What a save! What a save! What a save! And now it's your turn to save here at Mastervito Hyundai on Commercial Drive in Yorkville or online anytime at mastervitohyundai.com. Make your move to Mastervito Hyundai.
Babe's Restaurant and Bar believes great food brings people together. From comfort classics to crowd favorites, there's something for everyone. Open daily for lunch and dinner, plus brunch on the weekends. Come home to Babe's.
Welcome back to the Adirondack Bank Center as Utica City FC victorious in a 4-2 result over the Baltimore Blast. This game had everything you needed. It was physical, it was intense, it was a tightly contested affair, power play goals, shorthanded goals. I mean, we saw it all, Nicholas. And for Utica, although the offense maybe didn't get as much as they'd like, the defense really shone today.
And that was what was most impressive, locking down a Baltimore team that on average scores about 7 goals a game. That's the biggest, I think, takeaway here from a Utica perspective. You stood strong, and even when Baltimore did come back, they tied it up twice. Utica didn't really let that deter them, and they kept putting the pressure on. The shorthanded goal from Pinol was really, really important in the game. That really just put the nail in the coffin, and it's a really important win for Utica.
And for Baltimore, it was, again, a great defensive performance, especially after yesterday's intensity and a little bit of second-half struggles for the Blast yesterday. Came here today, played a complete game, just couldn't find anything offensively past Brian Wilkin, who had an excellent night. But for Baltimore, it's a small blip in what is a very successful team, and we know that they'll be right up there in the playoff hunt as well. Of course, in the MASL, 6 teams going to the playoffs this season, and the bottom 2 will be eliminated. Baltimore stays in the hunt, and just approaching that midway point of the season, now you're starting to see the team sort of rise and fall with, form and with injuries and everything sort of coming to light for this Baltimore side. Still a lot of positives to take away.
Certainly, and I think the one for a Baltimore team, like you mentioned, the defensive side of things, really impressive, and they were certainly hoping to build off of the win yesterday. It was such a great offensive performance. We just didn't see that individual quality that we've seen in the last few weeks from this Baltimore team. They had scoring at least 6 goals a game recently, but I think the likes of Ale Chavez and Melo and Pereira, these are guys that maybe just didn't showcase their ability as best as they could today, but they'll certainly be back.
How about the referees, Austin Saney, Ryan Trombetta? Great game from them as well. Explained every decision thoughtfully. They were busy.
Oh, very busy, and I think, but they got everything right. It's fantastic. I do enjoy this new rule, the challenge rule. It gives opportunity to really to shake things up. Both coaches used their challenge flags. Both teams were successful, and both teams also lost their challenges in the end. And that just adds a little new dimension. Does make it a bit more of a headache for officials, but at the same time, you know, I think they made every decision. Every decision was the right one, and it helped the game flow really nicely as well. It was an entertaining watch.
It is always entertaining when Baltimore and Utica play each other, and this one was no different, although the defense has shined today as Utica City takes down the Blast by a final score of 4-2. For our producers, Caroline Connolly and Reed Poland, and the man to my left, Nicholas Whaley. I'm Arnaud Fokrell, saying so long from the Adirondack Bank Center. First regulation win for Utica this season comes 4-2 over rivals Baltimore. Thanks for tuning in. Drive safe, be good to one another, and we'll catch you next time on MASL TV.
At Aquavino, every meal is a moment. Whether it's date night, a quick lunch, or celebrating a special event, enjoy Italian-American favorites. Aquavino Restaurant, growing our family one plate at a time.
What's your story? What moments make life an adventure? Community is where memories happen. At Bank of Utica, enriching our community for current and future generations has been part of our mission since 1927. By supporting local, community-focused organizations, we work together to open doors to education, the arts, and meaningful career paths. Making stories to remember. Bank with Utica.
At Rome Health, we bring the best orthopedic and sports medicine care right to your neighborhood. Our experienced team includes orthopedic surgeons, sports medicine specialists, and physical therapists working together to get you back to the things that you love to do. So whether you need an injection for arthritis pain, rotator cuff surgery, a joint replacement, or help recovering from a concussion, we're committed to delivering superior care to you. Rome Health, the best orthopedic care out there, here.
What a save! What a save! What a save! And now it's your turn to save here at Master Vito Hyundai on Commercial Drive in Yorkville or online anytime at mastervitohyundai.com. Make your move to Master Vito Hyundai.
Babe's Restaurant and Bar believes great food brings people together. From comfort classics to crowd favorites, there's something for everyone. Open daily for lunch and dinner, plus brunch on the weekends. Come home to Babe's.